need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you. Coach JB Show.
What up? We are in the building, man. Merciless on Monday. Tap that like, pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We are in the building. We're live on everything. X, go follow us on Twitter as well. Plus Big Smitty. Follow him on Instagram as well. Our show channel as well. We got a loaded lineup today. Jerry Palm, all things knower of college basketball analytics. Does it all, tournament bracketologist. We're going to dive into all things Final Four. Plus, Ryan Roberts, NFL draft analyst, plus college football analyst. Ryan Roberts joins us. We're going to break down some draft news, some draft talk. We're going to talk about that, some college football news he has, especially on Deion Sanders' new contract extension. We'll dive into that. Plus, Shaun King joins us. A loaded Monday. We got loaded lineup all week long. I'm excited about this Friday, because if anybody has watched the movie Invincible, the Vince Papale story, the real man himself, Vince Papale, will join us this Friday. We're going to talk to him about having played for the legendary Dick Vermeil, how true is the movie Invincible, and how good he thought Mark Wahlberg played him. We're going to dive into that on Friday, so don't miss this week. This week is a loaded show, though. We have a loaded lineup all week long. New guests every single day. And a lot of you guys may not know, but we got Leonard Marshall joining the show this week as well. Legendary New York Giant. Can't wait to have Leonard Marshall join us. We got a loaded lineup, man. We got so many guests. So shout out to everybody, man. Craig Larson for helping us book. Bailey behind the scenes. And, of course, Big Smitty, as he'll be joining us here in a second. Let's dive right into it. It's Merciless Monday. Hey, guys, listen. Aren't the anti-Elon and Trump leftists all pro-environment and anti-gun? Aren't you guys all anti-gun and pro-environment? Can you guys raise your hand? All you guys that are mad at Elon and Trump, you guys that are anti-Elon and Trump, aren't you all pro-environment and anti-gun? I just want to ask you a question. I think you guys will say yes. Or is it unless you guys are burning down Tesla plants and shooting up Tesla cars on the streets and freeways? Got it. I got it now. I got it. You're all anti-gun, pro-environment until you burn up a Tesla plant. Anyways, man, just so you know, contrary to belief, Democrats did give millions of illegal Social Security numbers out. That is fact. It was proven over this past few weeks. They were registered to vote. Fact. It was proven. And we have confirmation that they did vote, that they did indeed vote. And the Democrats qualified illegals for max Social Security benefits. Yet my mom has had hers cut, along with so many other Americans out there and elderly veterans to boot. Interesting. But you guys are down there fucking shooting up Tesla cars. They enrolled in Medicaid with their new Social Security numbers. And get this, the kicker is even this. They are more upset because they thought Elon was a Democratic electric car builder. Hey, contrary to belief, to all you weirdo fucks, Elon was a Democrat. But what do I know? Let's dive into this Merciless Monday, man, as we have a loaded lineup all week long. Shout out to all the guests who have joined the show for the past few weeks. And the show is only getting stronger, bigger, and better, along with more entertaining. So subscribe, become a member today if you're not one, man. Like I said, Ryan Roberts, NFL draft analyst and college football knower of all things this morning. Shaun King, of course, will join us. And Jerry Palm, CBS Sports college hoop analyst, joins us as well. We'll break down the Final Four as the Final Four is here. The Lakers look bad on defense once again. And the Dodgers, the Doyers, well, they look like they will repeat as World Series champs. The Yankees are the new Astros, trying to beat the Dodgers as they beef up their bats. Literally, they hit 9 home runs, one shy of the 1987 Blue Jays record of 10, as the Yankees have a 20-run explosion. And then the next day, they hit 4 more home runs and 12 more runs. But guess what the irony is? We still won't make Barry Bonds a Hall of Famer or put Pete Rose in either. But fucking Dave Portnoy, whoever the fuck that is, Barstool Sports is out here bitching and moaning wearing a Boston Red Sox hat, mad at the Yankees for hitting 13 home runs in 2 days. Make it make sense. The best that money can buy seems to all be in this Final Four. The mid-major is dead and buried, and the people who picked it to be this way will pat themselves on the back this morning as if they got it right. No, you got it wrong. And now we will see 4 to 8 schools yearly compete and 100 fall to the wayside. College athletics is broken. Let's be honest. College athletics is broken. It is amateur hour now. It is professional amateur hour. It's amateurism, which we all thought it was, is now gone. It's pay to play. There's 1,000 basketball players in the portal as of 6 a.m. West Coast, 10 minutes ago. 1,000 in the portal, and we haven't even finished the season yet. Teams lose, players exit stage left, go to school B, C, D. And for one person, they go to school E and F. As a once 4-star KU Jayhawk commit is entering his 5th school in 21 months' time. What a mockery this has become. Yet the NCAA, who just sits back and pockets the TV money, players' name, images, and likeness money, laugh as they still play judge, jury, and executioner. But what do I know? I do know this. My main man, co-host extraordinaire, Far East Sider 317, LeBron Hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, an AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark jocking. My main man, Big Smitty, is here today.
What's going on, y'all? It's Monday, Merciless Monday, man. I got 2 chains on like I'm 2 Chainz, all white with the crispy cut. I'm clean as hell at the top of the week. I got my main man, JB. He wearing black. I'm wearing white, but I'm black and he white. Make that make sense, homie.
What's on the shirt, though?
Oh, it's an all-star weekend. It's something I got made. It ain't nothing.
Never wear our shirts.
Yeah, I got to find it. What's going on, y'all, though, man? We get the OG, man. Vincent Kennard in here. Maybe we got Cole Vade, T. Haywood, Jonathan Kidd, my main man, B. Watley in here. Boston Richie, Andrew Nets, D. Guap, Sugar on the Realm, please, and D. Jones. It might be a loaded show. Y'all can't wait. I can't wait for this show. Out of all the shows, this show.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Can't explain it. We got a loaded lineup this week, all week long, man. Ryan Roberts joins us today. Jerry Palm.
Man.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into. You know him?
Yeah. I mean, I know him personally, but like just following his work online, bad boy.
I can't find his Twitter,
questions for him. So,
huh?
I got so many questions for him.
Really?
Yeah. Hopefully, y'all let me talk today. Hopefully, I get a chance to get him in there.
Give me a couple teasers, real quick.
Nah, I don't want to tease too much. You got to stick around. You got to stick around. You don't know what I'm gonna ask. So
I got to stick around.
Yeah.
I knew you had so many questions. You said so many questions. I was just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I figured you know so many. I don't know who he is.
Really?
So, nah, I never heard of him. So I'm glad we have him on.
You don't know who Jerry Palm is, homie?
Huh?
You don't know who Jerry Palm is? He's a journalist, homie. Like college basketball.
Yeah.
Like just genius. He knows all things about the bracket, the tournament, the Final Four. Like he's a bad boy.
Yeah, big time guess.
All right, well, I can't wait.
Nah, I actually follow him on Twitter. You can see.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. But I just followed him yesterday because I found out who he was. But anyway, let's dive into it, man. We got a loaded show today, Smitty. Loaded like all week long. We got Vince Papale on, the real man himself that they showed, that they depicted. I can't wait to ask him. Did he really score a touchdown? Was it called back? Did it really count? I got so many questions. A lot of folks won't know because I'm a little bit of a historian as well. Can't wait to have Steve Kim on tomorrow and Thursday. We have a legend, New York Giant, Leonard Marshall, joining us on Thursday as well. If you don't know who that is, oh my goodness, you guys need to go do some research. We'll have him on. I know all the OGs in the chat know who that is. We got shit every day, every single day. It is loaded all week long. So, Smitty, it's Final Four. We got the Doyers are undefeated. So are the second place.
They look unstoppable, homie. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they didn't play well. And Detroit's a good team. Detroit's a good team.
Yeah.
Kyle said Invincible was a shitty movie.
I never saw it.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it was a good movie. For whatever reason, I just never saw it.
You should watch it. So you had to do questions, like do a research.
What platform is it on? I'm not gonna pay for it. Is it free on anything?
On what?
Is it free on any platform? Amazon, Apple,
Amazon. Probably on Amazon.
Okay, I'll check it out. If it's free, I'm not paying for nothing extra though. So,
but if it's paid, it's probably like $2.99 or something. You can't do.
I told you before, I'm not gonna pay for any movie. I don't do that no more. I pay for my subscription for my platform, and whatever comes on that for free is what I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna pay additional money for a movie that came out in 2007.
Can I send it to you to $2.99 Venmo? If
Yeah,
I do that, would you watch it?
Sure.
It fits your narrative. It's a Disney movie.
Oh, okay. You should have told me that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, led with that. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Now you'll pay for like $20 now, right?
Disney owns like Fox and everything, so yeah. I work for Disney in a way.
ESPN, that's who owns that.
It's Fox too. A part of Fox. I don't want to get deep into the woods, but
yeah. I know what part too.
It's bigger than you.
Yeah, I know exactly what part they own. But anyway, Smitty, we got a loaded lineup. Let's dive into a quote of the day brought to you by BetUS. Head on over there today. BetUS TV right there. Yeah, BetUS TV. Smitty, quote of the day, man. It's gonna get a little vulgar because I gotta pump up the music, pump up the jam. If you don't know about that song, go research that as well. Smitty that wasn't even born yet. We were on our like junior high dance floor bumping that. But
you come over Technotronic, right?
Huh?
Ain't that one group? Was it like techno something, Technotronic or something like that?
I don't know about techno. We didn't do techno. That was techno era, but I didn't do techno. That was like the weirdos that we were the weird.
What was the name of the group that made that song?
Oh, you're talking about the album.
The album.
I mean the group. Sorry.
Yeah, the group.
Technotronic, homie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you Googled it. Hey,
literally what I said.
Smitty, walls, obstacles, and roadblocks aren't here to stop you. They are here to see how fucking bad you want it. Walls, obstacles, and roadblocks aren't here to stop you.
Yeah.
They are here to see how fucking bad you want it. That's what the roadblocks and obstacles and walls are here for, Smitty. I don't know if you knew that or not. I just taught you that because you think they're actually here to stop you, and then you just stop. Oh, you start crying. You're probably like, because that's the new generation. You guys cry a lot.
Oh, okay.
Even if you get the money, like you bitch and moan about making the money, and then you get the money, and then you have a bad performance after you made the money, and then you go out and cry.
Yeah.
Like
no weapon formed against me shall prosper on me.
Like the young did for the Dodgers this weekend. Can't wait to dive into that.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper, homie. So like, I would never be.
Look at this fucking pussy. You got to be shitting me, man.
People cheer for different reasons, homie.
Man. Fuck.
I'm gonna temper tantrum. Sit down somewhere. Sit down.
Fucking pussy ass. Fucking. You paid how much money? How much money did they give you? You fucking Wong Young. And they gave this motherfucker how much money? And he's crying because he had
60 years old, homie.
2 bad fucking days. Take your ass back over there, motherfucker, and clean the gum off the street. You fucking, homie.
Stop being racist, number one. Stop counting the man's pockets, number two.
I'm counting his pockets. Fuck
I
that.
have people in the hood.
I'm not going to Dodger game now, motherfuckers. And I got to pay a fucking $30 to get in the motherfucker, $100 for a beer and a hot dog, fucking 3 hours to get out the motherfucker. And I got to watch this bitch-ass motherfucking Young Yin cry.
Win. Cry me a river, homie. Cry me a river, homie.
Hey, Smitty will cry now. Smitty will be mad at me for crying about him, but he's not going to ever be mad at him.
You know the thing difference between me and you? I don't let people bother me so much. You get so irritated for, You know the difference between me and you? I don't let other people bother me so much. You get so irritated from people who don't pay your bills, don't pay your mortgage, don't pay your lights, don't pay your water bill. You don't know this man from Adam. He don't know you at all. You mad because he got emotional because he wasn't playing well. I know gangsters and killers who used to cry before they got on a mission, homie. Tears don't make you weak.
That's Indiana.
They make you weak. That's a fact. That's a
Indiana. Indiana, they cried because they knew they were about to get laid down. Here, we don't do it.
All right.
Here, we didn't cry. We didn't cry. Real gangsters, we didn't cry before we went out nowhere.
Go to Indiana, go to Far East
Indiana
Side
did.
and
Indiana's soft. Indiana's soft.
Here we are. That was where former coach Jason Brown was. I ain't gonna promote it. I'm just saying, don't go out there and play around. It ain't cute. I'm not bragging about it. It's just exactly what happens in my city. I wouldn't go out there and say that. But back to the quote of the day. Shout out to the quote of the day. It was a decent quote. Top 250 on it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I gotta break this down though. You're the same cat that told me stop counting pockets, blah blah blah, pocket checking, all this shit. And you're the one mad about this motherfucker finding where our tax dollars went.
I didn't say I haven't said anything about Elon.
Make it make sense.
I don't talk politics on this show.
Make it make sense.
I literally never said that. Chat, Gene, Sugar on the Rim, Coach Vine, School 3
This is politics.
I literally have not made one.
This is 1,000% politics right here.
I let Jason say that. I haven't made no comment.
All right, now this is 1,000% politics right here. This is what this guy's making every single year, and this is what he does. Cry.
You're a liar, though. Like that's the crazy thing about it. Like, forget everything else on the show. You're a liar. You lie. You do it so good.
I don't lie at all.
Your followers believe you. You're just a liar.
I don't lie at all. Everything here is fact-based.
You're a liar and you're a manipulator. You're a master manipulator and you're a liar.
Anyway, let's dive into the Contrary to Belief segment of the show. Moving on amicably, brought to you by Prize Picks.
Wow.
You can head over there. Prize Picks today. Wow. Don't worry about it, homie. It don't matter. Bet US, Prize Picks, same shit.
Do matter.
Huh?
It do matter.
Prize Picks DFS. Go check it out today. You can get it. Lakers play Houston. They'll probably get beat by 40, as the Rockets did to the soft KD-led Phoenix Suns. One of the worst. one of the worst superstars in the history of basketball. It gets overhyped. One of the most overhyped superstars in the history of basketball.
MVP, top 20 all-time scorer, gonna probably be top 10 once he retired. Two-time NBA champion, two-time Finals MVP, been averaging over 27, 28 points his whole entire career. Led his OKC team to the NBA Finals, where they did fall short against the Heatles of D-Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh, who were all in their prime, but he did lead that team and was the most efficient. You could argue the best player in that entirety of that series as well. Made OKC what they were, because when he got there, they were still Seattle Supersonics. Moved to OKC and he made them a prominent team. Holds almost every single record. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander starting to pass some of them. Shout out to Shai. KD's an all-timer. Is he top 3, top 5? No, he's not. But you can put him in conversation for top 10 to 15. Yes, you could. Continue.
He's not even in top 30. Here's the issue. He, you know when he got hurt? When he got punked. He got hurt after he got punked.
He did. That's not the case.
It's funny when they always get hurt after they get punked, or after when Dylan Brooks punked his ass, and then he left and he got hurt and he faked an injury, and then guess what? He looked up at the score when he rolled his ankle. It's like, oh, we're down 45. Let me get the fuck out.
Dylan Brooks didn't punk him, and KD loves basketball.
Homie, that's the bitch-made fucking generation. False narrative. I'm going to put out false narratives about somebody. This is the bitch-made generation.
Dylan didn't punk KD at all, number one. Number two, he rolled his ankle. KD loves the hoop. He don't bite him.
They saw. He's soft, homie. It is what it is. He's soft.
You don't watch basketball. That's soft. That's soft.
Yeah, he is soft. Contrary to belief. Let's dive into it. As a defender of all things, Darnell, we'll see if he'll defend this contrary to belief or not. Brought to you by Prize Picks. Smitty, remember when I saved your reputation by not telling my side of the story?
I don't remember that at all. I do not remember that at all. You never said contrary to belief. I've saved your reputation, homie. I be in the streets. How you be on that show with Jason Brown? He crazy. He be saying something that ain't true. He be lying about
you can't with
listen, he a good dude.
None of the real ones say that. None of the real ones.
A lot of real ones. He a good dude. He means well. His heart's in the right place. He's a little, he over exaggerates, but that's not what he means. I be having to defend you all the time. I don't tell you all the time because I don't want to hurt your feelings. All the time I defend you.
Contrary to belief, remember I saved your reputation by not telling my side of the story. Remember that. That happens so much, man. I've done that so many times, Smitty. You have no idea. Not just with you, but like just everybody you kick it with. I mean, it's unbelievable how many times I've saved your reputation by not telling my side of the story. God damn. You guys don't listen.
It's what D. Jones said about your contrary to belief. He said this.
Well, D. Jones can't even understand what I'm talking about.
And then he said this. I was going to make sure you saw it, though.
Yeah, he can't even understand. You should try again with a profile picture, motherfucker. You should go get another profile picture and get a quarterback that actually can take a snap under center and throw the ball on time. Maybe Jacksonville will win more than 3 games. But that's just maybe if you try again. Let's dive into the poll question, Smitty, real quick before we dive into this New York Yankee loaded bat scenario.
Ooh, I can't wait to talk about that.
I know I got all facts based on that. I'm a fact-based.
I cannot wait to talk about that. That's the biggest topic of the weekend.
I don't think you know anything about it.
That's our biggest sport on here.
Poll question, Smitty. The biggest surprise in the Final Four. Go ahead. Go.
The biggest surprise is that there's no surprise. It's all number 1 seeds.
Thank you. Yeah, the trick question, and you finally passed the test.
Homie, listen, I don't need your validation if I pass the test, homie. My answer being the same as your answer don't mean it's the right answer. Ooh, what's a bar? My answer being your answer don't mean it's the right answer. I can say what I want, homie. I always pass the test. The test of Big Smitty. Because I say what I want, and I want what I say. And I mean what I say. So there's no surprise because it's 4 number 1 seeds. The best of the best is playing each other. On one side, you made a point earlier of saying like the smaller schools and smaller teams will never have a chance to kind of have that Cinderella story. And I to an extent, I kind of agree with you. It will be tough in this new era because players are only going to where the dollars are, right? But on the flip side, as a fan, I want to see the best on the best. I want to see the 1 seed play the 1 seed. So I'm expecting a phenomenal Final Four. I got Duke winning it all. I believe you had Houston winning it all, if I'm not mistaken. So one of us going to find out who's right or who's wrong. One of our brackets going to be busted right here. So, like, I'm excited. You got Auburn and Florida on the other side. I mean, SEC battle. So I'm excited that we got best on best on best. But it's a surprise that the 4 final teams is here. No, I had Duke, Houston, and Florida in here. And just just for giggles, I put in MSU as my fourth team, just thinking there might be some upsets going on. But that's just whatever. I'm not surprised though that Auburn made it. I mean, they've been balling all year long. It makes sense. So that's where I'm at with it.
Well, I picked this thing weeks ago. I got Houston playing Florida in the finals, and Houston getting it done. So I'm gonna win the thing either way. But here's the thing, Bailey. I don't know if you have that picture. Can't wait. We're gonna save it though for Shaun King because he thinks Duke's team's gonna win. I'm gonna show Shaun King his fan base later on in the show, and we're gonna dive into that. Cooper Frag. We're gonna dive into that later with him, but it's gonna be interesting, huh?
You don't like Cooper?
I know Cooper Flag.
I'm saying you don't like Cooper Flag. He's gonna probably the next great white American basketball player.
I love that. I thought
you should be all in. I'm about to say, yeah.
Oh no, Matt Barnes and everybody, even the brothers, that's what they.
No,
think
we all love him. He's a hooper. He's a baller. He loves basketball.
That's what's gonna help. That's what's gonna help the NBA.
Of course, he is.
A white American, though, not a white foreigner.
I said that's what I said specifically.
Yeah. We need a white American. We need a white American, like make America great again.
He's the next Larry Bird.
I don't know about that, but yeah, we need something like that, something like him.
Not his style. I'm just saying, like he's gonna be the next. I mean, who was the last great white American basketball player?
Man, like Giddy. Diddy's homeboy Giddy. I mean, right? Isn't it the cat that hit the shot the other day? Giddy, homie. Motherfucker averaging like 28. Shit.
He ain't great, homie, but continue.
What?
Continue. My fault. I shouldn't even.
I think Giddy's Australian or something, ain't he?
Yeah, number one. Number two, he's not great. He's an all-star and a superstar.
That's how fucking hard it is, homie. That's how hard it is to find a motherfucker. Is Reeves American? The white boy for the Lakers?
You know what? That's a good one. Yeah. But Reeves is like missing something though. Like he's a hooper, but like he's missing something. And Reeves kind of built to this, which is great. Cooper Flag is expected to be a star. So if it's a different build, it's a different aura, as the kids like to use that word, aura. Austin Reeves, though, yeah, probably is the closest thing. That's a good one right there. But he's kind of built to that point. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, we can't go back to fucking Joe Court said Blake Griffin, don't we? Reeves not superstar though. I don't think
he ain't. That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to be like a white. We're talking about a white superstar. Kevin Love wasn't even a superstar, not an NBA.
He was a dog with Timberwolves though.
Yeah, but he wasn't no superstar. I like you know what I'm saying. Like
I
don't know.
He was like 30 and 15 every night.
Yeah, I just don't know if we've had like a true white boy superstar since probably Larry Bird. Because even John Stockton's wasn't a superstar.
Hall of Famer though.
No, yeah, but I'm saying I think there's different tiers. I don't know. That's a whole nother.
No, I feel what you're saying though, but that's why I brought up Larry Bird. I think this white boy has it. He has the thing to be like the superstar, the swag, the skills, the brothers. We respect him. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's different.
Yeah. The bottom line is the poll question, who's our surprise? Nobody. It's a joke. It's a mockery. I think that the mid-majors are going to die in front of our very eyes in this tournament. And I don't know why we keep adding more teams and getting more plans when we should be eliminating it. I think it makes it bad for college basketball that these guys are even getting allowed in there. Look at the college women's game. The women's get beat by 75 points, and they shouldn't even be in this tournament. They should have their own tournament. The big fish eat little fish. We have a huge problem. Big fish eat little fish. We have a huge.
Before that, you said the women should have their own tournament.
No. The women that don't belong in the suites in the 64, they should be in their own thing. Like they should. I think they should have 32 teams in the tournament in the women's side, and then the other 32 should go into a different type of NIT scenario because it's a bad look for them, in my opinion. Getting beat by 100 doesn't help anybody. It's not good for optics. It's not good for you and I as a viewer. It's not good for the fan base. It's not good for the girls themselves. And then in the boys' side, the mid-major, all these Cinderella teams that we're used to seeing are gone. This is what it is, and it's not going to get any better, Smitty. It's not going to get any better. The upset alerts are now gone. This is the first time since 2008, Smitty, that all 4 1 seeds have made it to the Final Four.
That was a great year, though. Mario Chalmers, Derrick Rose. It was my man, Russell Westbrook. Who was the last one? I think Tyler Hansbrough. That's when I was a bandwagon North Carolina fan. That was a great year, though. So I'm expecting great things.
But that's when every team had a roster that all of us could name. You can't name any roster anymore. You couldn't tell me who the fuck. There's 1,000 in the transfer portal today. This morning, as of 32 minutes ago, 1,000, and the tournament's not even over yet. We got a week to go. We got a week to go in the Final Four.
I bet you my man Jerry Palm can name him, and my man Ryan Roberts can name him. It just means we're not avid college basketball fans. Real ones probably can name these rosters because these are the 4 best teams. So the real fans, the real ones probably can name these guys. So I'm the wrong person to ask.
No doubt.
No doubt.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't want to name them either.
I don't want to name them
because it's like it's forced on me.
Yeah, it's forced.
Like I don't want to like dig to see who's on your roster.
I don't want to dig either.
You know what I'm saying? Ball State or any of these schools. I don't want to know.
It's not a great example. It's not a great example, but yeah.
You know the roster at Ball State? You know the team?
Yeah, but we're not gonna go through all that right now. What's up with this picture right here in the middle, though? I'm just a little more curious on that.
What happened?
What's up with this picture?
These guys are Cooper Frags. Cooper Frag, and I was like, what? I was like, what?
You saw racist.
I was like, who's Cooper Flag? And then it was Cooper Flag. I found out later.
That ain't funny, Jason. I'm telling you straight up. Like when you funny, I'm like, that's funny. That right there wasn't funny. You lost on that one.
Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag.
That was a waste of our time. That was a wasted moment of this show. We could never get this moment back ever.
Cooper Flag.
Time is the thing that keeps
a lot of motherfuckers, homie. Duke has a weird fan base, homie. I can't wait to talk to Shaun King about them motherfuckers, homie. I thought that was Ohtani and his fucking bookie. And I was like, hold up. They're at the Duke game and then flying back to play the fucking Tigers?
Ohtani
and then they're like, no, JB, that's not Ohtani. And I'm like, damn. My bad.
All A's don't look alike, number one. Number two, Ohtani does not gamble. He was found innocent. So let's stop saying that. We live in America, innocent until proven guilty. So stop doing that, homie, because you won't want the same thing done to you. So
I've had it happen to me. I've literally had it happen to me.
But you didn't like it.
No matter. I've had it happen.
Right
I beat it. Get over it, homie. I beat it.
Why would you do the same thing, though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got it. Fuck them all. Big bats in the Big Apple, Smitty. That is what we got going on today.
Ooh-wee. That's what I want to talk about, homie.
Look at that. Look at that. Torpedo bat, homie.
That's crazy. That looks like Elon's rocket that keeps failing. That looks crazy.
That's fake, homie. All right, let's dive into it, Smitty. Let me get your take first of all. Let me get your take on this thing. They hit 9 home runs, not even a record. Just give you guys a little history lesson. 1987, before Smitty was born, I was basically 11 years old in the streets, already banged out. And I was already in the streets playing over the line. We were playing over the line baseball, just so we're clear. I was already playing over the line. I was already a big-time athlete on the way to becoming a big-time player in all sports. And I was like, damn,
you go player
in the hood in Compton by myself, only white boy, but I was beating everybody in every sport. But anyway, they called me Great White. And I was like, damn. So I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, well, what's the issue here? Because in 1987, the Joe Carter-led Toronto Blue Jays hit 10 home runs. That was how long ago, Smitty? A long time ago. Long time ago. 38 years ago.
At least.
So still ain't broke it. That was 87, Waffle, I believe, when the Toronto Blue Jays hit 10. You can fact check me, but I think I'm right on that.
Oh, 86. You might be right, though. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. So they hit 9. The next day they hit 4, Smitty. So they had 13. They hit 13 in 2 days. They scored 32 runs in 2 days.
They scored how many runs, homie?
32. And here, let me be clear.
That's crazy.
And Judge hit how many home runs?
He had 3 the first game. What did he get on the second one?
I think 1 or 2. think he already has more home runs and RBIs than he had through 16 games last year. But you know, the irony is
what?
The conspiracy theorists that are all out here crying like a motherfucker today about these bats. The Dave, what's his name? Portnoy. Dave Portnoys of the world, who are Boston fans. There's nothing worse than a fanboy for another team crying and bitching about another team because they beat your team or better than your team. That's the worst thing you could cry about. Like, it is what it is. If the Dodgers lose to the fucking Giants or the Padres, you know what it is? I'm like, hey, dog, here's what I can't go in here and cry about they got cheated. Here's the issue I have, Smitty, real quick. Does anyone know what bat Aaron Judge uses? Not that bat. He don't use that bat. He didn't use that bat all weekend long. Nobody wants to break down the facts. He did not use the torpedo bat.
Really?
By the way, no, he didn't. He used his regular old fucking bat. And by the way, why is this such a big deal? You know why? Because the Dave Portnoys of the world and these other fanboys will get out and with a big platform, make a video that'll get circulated and become a viral one, and then everybody jumps on some sort of bandwagon and talks about it's illegal and blah, 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 blah. It's not illegal. Number one, they've just, whatever you want to call it, proportioning the bat differently as far as it's the same size, Smitty, the same weight, Smitty, the same measurement, Smitty. They just use the wood in a different place.
Why?
Because their scientific guy wants to say that's where the sweet spot is.
Let me ask you though. You as an athlete in common sense, why do you think they did that?
That's where the sweet spot is.
To give them an advantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not cheating by the rules because they found the loophole, but it's cheating, homie. It don't take no genius. You even got to watch baseball. If you put more of the surface area at the sweet spot, which is the spot that contacts the baseball when you're hitting it. If I put more wood in the spot that hits the ball, what do you think is going to happen, homie? You have a higher probability of hitting the ball, which is what we saw over the weekend. That's just common sense. That's just a true. You ain't got to know nothing about it. Go ahead, Jason.
You're wrong.
All right.
I just want to make sure I want to catch you before you say some crazy shit that's wrong. So I'm a baseball advocate and fan.
Advocate.
Yeah, I support baseball. I go out and do certain things with baseball. Here's the issue. This is not a new bat. Can we stop? This is not a new bat. It's not a new science. This is not a brand new thing. So you got to do more research, Darnell, before you come on the show.
Research, ain't it?
Before you come on this show, Darnell, and do the research to tell your fan base that follows you so tremendously here on the show and loves you so dearly. And you got to come out and say, you know what?
Yeah.
There's at least 1 to 6 players per team in Major League Baseball and on every team that's been using this same bat. Why isn't anyone talking about that? Why isn't David Portnoy talking about all the teams use this bat? This is not a new bat. It's not a new bat, Smitty. I've actually done my due diligence. I've actually looked through this all weekend long because I knew it would be a topic of discussion. This is not a new bat. This is not a new bat. There's tons of players in Major League Baseball using this bat, Smitty. So I just want to be clear.
I understand what you're saying, but there's a guy who can break this down
at
a much higher level than you and me. I think we should really watch this video before we continue our take. So, babe, you have a video. Go ahead and play it.
Now, you see the shape of Chisholm's bat.
Dude, it's got a big barrel on it.
Well, it's actually a little bit lower than the barrel. The Yankee front office, the analytics department, did a study on Anthony Volpe. And every single ball, it seemed like he hit on the label. He didn't hit any on the barrel. So they had bats made up where they moved a lot of the wood into the label, so the harder part of the bat is going to actually strike the ball.
That was false. I don't know if you saw that, Bailey. If you could find that guy coming back out and recanting and saying this is not a Yankee guy that made this bat. He said that.
It's not out there.
He said that though, Smitty, and he ended up having to eat his words. Here's the issue, Smitty. Let's be honest here. They're not cheating. They are not
cheating by the rules.
They're not even breaking or bending the rules, Smitty. You just said they're bending the rules. They're not even bending the rules.
It's not a loophole.
It's not a loophole either. You can't find a loophole when everyone else in Major League Baseball has been using the bat, Smitty. Like, this has been used for years, by the way. They're called torpedo bats.
Everybody use steroids. Don't mean it ain't illegal, homie.
They're called torpedo. What do you mean? Smitty, the bat has been used, though. It's out in the public. It's a horrible comparison, by the way. But anyway,
I
want to make sure we're clear. Tons of other players around the league use this oddly shaped bat. Okay, they used it literally over opening weekend in this year's opening weekend. Somebody from each team used this bat, and the number will continue to rise, obviously now, since we have all these eyes on this thing. And I'm gonna be honest, Minnie, for all the conspiracy theorists and the fucking weirdos out here who don't like the Yankees. Remember, I'm a Dodger fan, the polar opposite of the Yankee fan. Let's be clear, man. These new age bats made news over the weekend because of the offensive barrage the Yankees put out there. Like, that's what it is. Like, they hit 9 home runs, and then they hit 4 the next day, and all this shit, and that became news. But it wasn't news when everyone else was using the same extraordinarily bizarre-looking, abnormal, misshapen, whatever word you want to use, bat. Instead of a barrel that maintains the even, I guess, circumference down the whole grain of the bat, it's been normal for decades in professional baseball. Decades, Smitty. You hear what I said? That means not 1 decade, but 2 decades, 10 years. So, I mean, over 20 years, Smitty, the torpedo bats feature a thicker sweet spot before thinning back off towards the end. The result, basically, is a theory that a lot of people have come up. And if you know anything about fucking high school physics, Smitty, I know you went to physics class every day, and that was one of your favorite classes. And I know you went every day at Warren Central. You were waiting for physics class.
I had chemistry. I didn't take physics.
But do you remember physics? Force equals what? Mass times what? Speed. Acceleration. Oh, am I a cold motherfucker? Is it force equals mass times acceleration? What? Doesn't that make sense when the bat's fatter down that barrel? Force, Smitty, force, mass times acceleration. What does that do? That's physics, homie. I went to class. I was a very studious individual. And I know Smitty went to class in physics class. And I'm sorry to break all your conspiracy theorists down and hate towards the Yankees and their barrage on offense. I'm sorry to tell you. But the Dodgers are also undefeated this weekend. And so are the Padres. Okay? There's 4 undefeated teams in Major League Baseball. Let's not talk about Aaron Judge not using this bat and still hitting more home runs than anybody. Can we discuss that? Can we use that as this whole thing to shut you conspiracy theorists down? Judge hit how many home runs? And do you know that he didn't use this bat? Why are we not talking about him, homie?
Judge a bad boy. Judge.
So now it's just a bad. He's just bad.
Judge specifically the second best player in the game. You know what I'm saying? Behind my guy Otani. So that's a little different. But everybody,
He's the best offensive player. Judge the best offensive player, though.
Yeah, he is. That's a fact.
So Judge is the best offensive player, and he just proved it. And he did not use that bat.
Well, he can use a pencil and get a home run. So he's a different breed. But
why are we tripping
like him though? And they were saying home run. So it's like,
why are we tripping though? Like, why was everybody tripping?
I'm just saying, like, everything happens for a reason. You don't change the bats around just to do it. So you're doing it because it's going to help you get some sort of advantage. So all I'm saying is common sense. So all I'm saying, maybe it's not cheating, but they're doing it to help them hit better. That's just what it is. So say what you want.
Yeah, I think this is totally within the rules. There's nothing illegal. It's not even a loophole because the loophole is if Dan Lanning, right? He used a timeout, and then the next day they banned the timeout call during that scenario of the game. Remember that? That literally during the season, we're like, damn.
Me and we were at the casino.
Yeah. That's a loophole when you figure that out. It's not a loophole, Smitty, when everyone else is doing it. Everyone else uses this bat. It's not a loophole, homie. You got to stop saying it's a loophole. This is not the first time this bat just discovered, Smitty. Like, this
it's like flopping in the NBA.
What bat is this? The bat's been around, Smitty. It's 20 years.
It's like flopping in the NBA. It's like, James Harden, over the years, have like created certain moves. His step back where he would travel all the time, but they never got called. The flop. It's like every sport has like their thing where they're able to get away with certain stuff. It's not against the rules, but it's kind of like, for example, you want the tush push to be banned. It ain't against the rules at all. But
I was going to bring that up.
You feel like it's wrong. So that's all I'm saying. It's the same. The way
Here's
you
the
feel about the tush push is the way I feel about the bat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's totally different though. I'm glad you said that because you try to think like me sometimes. And here's the issue: the tush push is a totally different deal. That's a totally different. It's literally against the rules. And no, it's literally against the rules by definition. I broke this down before with you. A distinct advantage over your opponent is a violation of the rule. Clearly, the tush push is an distinct advantage over your opponent. That's clearly in the rule book. That's why these guys want it out. Plus, obviously, for the injury purposes, until a quarterback snaps his fucking lower leg.
Every team can do it, though. Every team can do it. We saw the Bills do it. We saw other teams do it. So it's not an advantage.
Oh, yeah, they can. Yeah, they can do it. But I'm just saying, but guess what? The offensive guy that played quarterback has been the biggest advocate for the defense to allow the same thing, haven't I? To be honest, I've been the guy. And I've heard guys on your show, on your network, talk about the same thing I'm discussing. Why aren't we able to push the nose guard then from a running start and push that motherfucker into the center then? Why is that not? That should be legal. It should be the same. If you're going to do one, you got to do the other. That's the whole issue I have. On baseball, when it comes to bats being used throughout the league for the last 20 years, this whole torpedo bat thing was never even a thing, Smitty. Listen, Smitty, I've been in Major League Baseball dugouts, and I've seen tons of different variety of bats. As long as they're the weight, the length, and the specification of Major League Baseball rules book, they can be any type of fucking bat they want. You could have a bat with a barrel like fucking this, if the motherfucker is the same weight and length of all the other bats. There's a ton of different bats. I never even noticed many until years ago. I was looking at these bats. I'm like, damn, that's a trip. You got a thin bat. You got a thicker bat at the barrel. You got a thicker bat at the handle. You got a thinner bat. They use whatever the players like. Call me, there's a tons of different bats. So I'm just saying, man, it is what it is.
They put a steroid shot in their bat. They put a blue pill in the back.
But I just don't get the irony, Smitty. We're bitching and moaning about a team that hit 13 home runs in 2 days. That was a slow weekend in the fucking Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire era. Mark McGwire hit 13 in a weekend. Why are we so mad, homie? I'm trying to figure it out. Why is 32? I mean, why is 32 runs in a weekend and 13 home runs like jaw dropping, Smitty? So then guess what? Put fucking Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame then, you fucking hypocrites.
Well, we all know that. We all know he's arguing.
Come on, man. But it's ironic that we're bitching and moaning about a 13 home run weekend. And we got a guy outside of the fucking Hall of Fame.
The people who are moaning and complaining are the fans, and we're not the ones who kept Barry Bonds out. We want him in. It's the MLB himself. And
I'm saying though, look, it's the same Dave Portnoy's in them. It's a fanboy of another team bitching. Not like, keep it real, homie. Be honest about it. There's Red Sox that use this bat. Dave Portnoy.
Why are you saying his name? Like
come on, homie. That motherfucker's a weirdo. I mean,
he might press you. You better stop saying his name so much. I heard Dave don't play around.
Yeah, Dave could get these motherfucking mitts. I'll slap shit out of him. I'll slap the fucking shit out of him.
He might press you how LeBron pressed Stephen A on the sideline. Like, if he see you in Vegas or something, Dave type of dude to really walk up on you.
I hope he
mouth when he goes, hey JB or whatever your name is.
Pay me, Portnoy. Portnoy, pay me and put me in the ring like you did all them other fat fucking wobble bodies and paid them all this money. Put me in one of the motherfucking rings with you.
How much money?
I don't know, a couple mil.
If you lose the homie, you know that's it for your brand. Like,
I don't give a fuck. No, it ain't. It's gonna be make a bigger brand.
If you lose if Dave Portnoy beats you, because all your brand is built on tough guy and Compton and anti-women.
What kind of fight would it be? Like, is it like an MMA? Like no. Like, what kind of fight is it?
Rules.
Oh, boxing rules.
So if he just pieced you up and because you are out of shape, tremendously out of shape. So if he pieced you up, he's younger, he's more in shape, more fit. He probably actually works out and does this type of stuff. If he knocks you out, if you get knocked out by Dave Portnoy, no disrespect to Dave, but Dave ain't known as like some dude with hands. If he knocks you out, your brand is finished. This show's over. So
if I absolutely just mollywop this dude, what happens?
Then it blows up. It's a 50. It's like
I think it goes either way. I think it goes either way.
Yeah, I'm saying it's hit or miss. If you kill him, not literally, but like you knock him out, then we blow up. All type of. If you don't, then it's over.
I've seen him in person. Just I want to give you to make sure you're clear. Motherfucker like this big.
That's your height.
Huh?
That's your height. You said it's big.
I'm sitting down.
He's not that short.
Homie, he's about, I don't know. He's a little motherfucker though. Like it would be a bad look for everything involved. Like I'm just saying, like humanity, female, like it would be a bad thing, homie.
He bad look for everything.
I'm just saying he would have to sell that shit back to fucking whatever that gambling show was, company.
Yeah, I sold it back.
he like your height. He like 5'7". Your height.
That ain't my height.
Little bit solid.
Fans be seeing me in public, like, oh, Big Smitty's looking up. These little weird dudes shaking my hand and stuff. I didn't know you just tall. Yeah, homie. Don't listen to Jason.
Hey, since we're alone till 7:30, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Bailey, let's do what's happening now and then come back with the Deion news after the commercial.
That's perfect. That's perfect setup. Yep. We'll do a 5-minute break.
That's you on the
What's
right.
happening now? That's me on the right.
We don't need 5-minute break, but shout out. What's happening now, Smitty? Let's dive into it real quick. Again, back to the baseball because we're baseball fans and we are huge in the baseball world. We got a lot of baseball coaches on, players, Brett Boone. We've had all these legendary guys on every day, every single day. But Smitty, let's talk about this Sasaki. Big name, another big Dodger get, young, big time Japanese pitcher has basically been rocked his first 2 outings, Smitty. Where are you at with this? And why do you think you're seeing teary eyes? Because I talked to Joe Accord and I was like, Joe, how was the winds? Was it gusty? And he was like, no wind at all in Chavez Ravine. I was like, let me look into it. No particles hit him in the face or nothing, no reason. So he had no wind, no issues, nothing hit his eyes. He was clearly fine. So he was fine. He got rocked. Dave Roberts pulled him out, and he ran to the car and cried. He ran to the car. He ran to the car. He ran to the car.
This down. Is he really crying? I don't see no tears coming down his face. Number one.
He's gonna go cry in the car.
I think his eyes are a little watery. He's a little emotional. He's 23 years old. He's a rookie. He's in a brand new country, and he's having a horrible start. He's disappointed in himself. And me as an athlete and a competitor, I respect this. I'm glad he's upset. I used to be pissed off when I had a bad practice or a bad game, and we go in the film room, and my Coach Wilt, in Ball State is like replaying my play and showing me how I messed up, and I know it's on me, and I'm disappointed in myself because I know the work that I put in to play better. And then when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, and I let my teammates down, it's a disappointing feeling. Now everybody's emotions comes out differently. I might get quiet for a little while, and I might go, self-talk, or I might go listen to music. I might be mad. I might be something. Like everybody shows their emotions differently. At the end of the day, an emotion isn't a sign of weakness. It's all emotion. You yelling, JB, and spazzing out, that's emotion. You just show it. That's the way you show it. He's in his own little zone. Again, he got a lot going through his head, and it's probably he just got pulled out. It's probably hitting him right now. I don't think this means he's not going to be a good player. It's been it's been a handful of games. Like we're just at the beginning of the season. He had a moment. I'm sure this young man's going to bounce back and have a hell of a career, and we're not even going to remember this moment. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is nothing. It doesn't mean he's soft or sad or he's this, that, and that. I think he's going to have he has a chance to have a really good career, be a good player, have a really good season. Forget career, a good season. It's a lot of pressure, man, on the young guy, especially on this loaded team who just won a championship last year and who's expected to repeat. There's people saying, we had guys come on our show saying, these guys could win 3 times, I think. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this team is loaded. and he understands that. So I just think there's a lot of emotions going through his head, and that's where he's at.
Yeah. Please, all you in the chat that are talking about if somebody cries after winning or losing a championship is the same thing as this kid who's through 5 games. Stop comparing the two. Stop comparing a 23-year-old kid that has no fucking idea what a championship is. Stop comparing that to this. Okay. First of all, let me address you clowns in the chat that are going to say that. Number one, because I already know you guys. Number 2, Smitty, are you mad when JB lost in the Natty and cried? A little different. A little fucking different, number 1. Number 2, real quick, 23 years old, and you gave him how much money? So, Bailey, can you give me his contract? I don't know if you know his salary, because he's one of the biggest paid cats there are, right? I want to be clear here. And see, I love it when Smitty and everybody else wants to mention, well, JB, he's only 23. Stop, homie. Because I'm tired of dealing with that shit. I'm tired of hearing that shit. I'm tired of you defending not you, Smitty. I'm tired of everyone out here defending 17 to 21-year-olds in college, calling them kids getting paid a bag of money and then not show up for work. Once you get paid, homie, that's all. Everything's off. Stop it. Because the real world don't work that way. You got paid the dollars to show up. Then guess what? It's big boy. It's the big boy league, Smitty. 13, 14 million this kid got? 15 million? I don't know what he got. Pretty fucking good amount of money. I know that.
Whatever it was, he ain't no top of the league at all.
Pretty good money, though. Well, I'm just saying.
He ain't even close to that. He's a rookie.
Smitty, I'm talking about us, though. Like, this is, I'm trying to compare this to the general public of income. 13, 14, 15 million. How much did he have? How much? I don't know what he has, but that's more than anyone else, Smitty. I'm just throwing that out there. And you to go cry in the car, homie? You go cry in the car? Come on, man. Then listen, Smitty, I don't understand how you love
what does this do, though, for you? Like, this don't do nothing.
Here's the issue, though. Like, you want your cake too. You're the biggest want my cake and eat it too cat I've ever met in my life. Like, I'm trying to figure out, do you understand this is results-oriented life, homie? This is results-oriented business. You either fucking the haves and the have-nots. Yes. Like, I'm trying to why this generation has become so fucking soft and accepting of pussification blows my mind. You wonder why we're so fucking soft. We're going to give this dude who gets $14, $15 million a pass. Like, get the fuck out of here, homie. I got dudes at Walmart bagging groceries for $12 an hour, having to show up every day. I got to feel sorry for this motherfucker prima donna.
Some of them dudes is crying in the car, too. Upset with their life.
Yeah, they cry because they fucking bad
but
life
they're not
choice.
on camera because they're at Walmart. Stop comparing the two together.
They made a bad life choice. They made a bad life choice. Fuck them. Guess what? You're crying for a different reason, though. I
didn't tell you to feel sorry for him. We're talking about just crying. I don't know what he's thinking
man,
right now. We're all just
then go back to Japanese fucking AAA then. Fuck him. Get his ass out of here. What about the other dude? 300 something million. Didn't the other guy get like 300 mil?
Homie, it ain't even April yet, and you over here like already bashing the dude saying send him back. Like,
I don't want to see professionals crying. I don't want to see pros crying after 4 games, homie. You act like this is fucking game 160. It's fucking game 4.
It don't matter what he's crying about, homie. He cares about the game.
Now you're a psychologist.
He cares about the game, homie.
Now you're
you want players who don't care about losing. You want players to go out there and just be on the sideline texting and smiling and just laughing.
How you know?
He got pulled out. He's upset he got pulled out, homie.
Before we take commercial break, this is what I think. Can we show his picture? This is kind of, just pause it if you can. I don't know. This is kind of where I'm at, Smitty, and I'm going to be honest with you. You got me mad at me and all this shit, but I'm going to be honest. We just had 4-1 seeds make the tournament, correct, Smitty? We talked about
college basketball, yes.
We've been talking about college basketball and 4-1 seeds and blah, blah, blah. Can I give you the truth of this matter?
You can tell me your opinion on the matter, yes.
No, I'm gonna give you the truth because I found out after digging deep into this.
I can tell you where you about to say next.
I'm gonna publicly apologize to you for why he's crying.
Might be some BS where he's gonna say.
What?
I know wherever you're going to say next is going to be some BS. I can tell by your build-up, but go ahead.
I want to apologize to you publicly on why he's crying. I found out the real reason, and I want to address everybody in the chat and everybody out there, the millions of people watching, that I want to apologize, which I don't do.
You don't.
For why I thought he was crying. I thought he was a bitch-made 23-year-old overpaid prima donna who cried for getting rocked for 2 games, and I'm wrong.
Okay.
He's crying after doing some fact-checking because guess what, Smitty? And I don't know if we're breaking news or not, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Ohtani told him, take Michigan State -3.
Oh, I told y'all. Y'all didn't want to believe me.
Homie. And that's not all. The motherfucker told him to Tennessee +7, and them motherfuckers got beat by 20. He fucking took Ohtani's fucking -6 Auburn. He didn't believe Florida had best backcourt nation. He didn't believe, homie. He didn't believe it, homie. I apologize to Smitty. He's not crying for getting rocked. He took bad betting advice from Ohtani and the Yankees. My bad, homie. That's on me. I take it, accept it as a grown-up. That's fucking why. We'll see you in 4 minutes on the other side. What up, man? The real coach JB here. Listen, man, Stanford head coach Troy Taylor, a friend of mine, is fired after stemming allegations from supposedly some female staffers that he yelled at them too much and used some words of, let's say, profanity. Listen, man, this is an absolute fucking mockery. This is why women belong nowhere near men and football spaces and men's spaces, and I'll be the one to fucking say it. Yeah. This is a fucking joke. And we are allowing our men to be fucking emasculated by these fucking non-caring assholes of America. And Andrew Luck, shame on your motherfucking ass. Aren't you the same motherfucker who quit on his team in the summer? Aren't you the same motherfucker who's never even fucking ran a football program, but yet now you're making decisions just because you were a good player? It's a fucking joke. It is a joke. Here's the issue I have. Just say he's 3-9 and be a real one, Andrew Luck. Number one. Number two, what gives the fucking general manager the authority to fire everyone now? So I've done some research, and I'm like, what the fuck's a general manager in college football? Never heard of it before. It's now become a prevalent thing. Ron Rivera was just hired at Cal. It's usually some sort of figurehead of the former university. Ron Rivera coached the current head coach at Cal. And so that's why I saw that fit. Andrew Luck is a Stanford alum, Hall of Famer, college Hall of Famer. So they throw him in there as the general manager who has zero experience, not even coaching Pop Warner, but he puts him right at Stanford where he played at. And then he is the first general manager to fire a coach. So I was like, what is the general manager? Well, the general manager is basically replaced what we used to call, Smitty, the DFO. The director of football operations. That's who used to hand that was the person, a woman or a man, that would hand like the seating arrangements to Smitty and the hotel room ticket, a key to Smitty, and tell Smitty and the players if they got per diem or not, and what hotel room they're going to be in and what time shit was at. That was that guy or girl.
Chick-fil-A sandwich.
I never knew that guy could now fire the head football coach. But that used to be the director of football operations. Now it's called the football general manager, whatever the fuck that is. This guy right here is a woke, fucking liberal, fucking spineless jellyfish who lied about his real injuries in the NFL, who got paid $25 million for being a fucking coward, quitting on his team in the fucking late months of August before the season started, giving Irsay no quarterback, giving their team and roster a complete rehaul. And this is the guy who you fucking hired to fire a coach because he yelled at a fucking staffer who happened to be in the office, who happened to be female, who shouldn't even be around the fucking men anyway? Shame on you, you spineless fucking jellyfish. Why don't you lie some more about your fucking skiing incident, who you later you came out and admitted that's what really got you hurt. And then now all of a sudden you're okay by taking the money that you got paid, though, motherfucker. And now you want to fire a dude who, by the way, everybody raves about. You can go talk to women, men, you name it. So we clearly know this is a fucking witch hunt because you're spineless and you don't have the gall or the balls to say, hey, Troy, you just went 3-9 2 years in a row. That's why I want to fire you. Instead, like most liberal bitch-ass motherfuckers do, they want to blackball you so you don't get another job. They want to cancel you because that's what cancel culture fucking vultures do. By the way, this guy now will blackball this man so he can't get another job because he's going to use the narrative that he was mean to women. When in fact, all you really had to say was he went 3-9 2 years in a row, and that's why we're moving on. Real simple and cut and clear. That's all you had to fucking do. But shame on you and shame on the president of Stanford and everybody else involved for allowing this man to get thrown to the wolves and under the bus in the manner that he is being thrown. Because you're making up complete false allegations about a man being attacked in attack mode versus women. Shame on us. Our own men's spaces.
Coach, we got some breaking news. Speaking of that commercial, you just saw Coach going off about the Andrew Luck firing Troy Taylor. Stanford is named interim head coach Frank Reich, who coached Andrew Luck in Indianapolis. Just for the record, both sides have agreed that this is a one-year deal in which after Stanford will go and look for their official head coach. But Frank Reich named Stanford's interim head coach.
It's a good hire for Stanford. I mean, Frank Reich is a good coach, Super Bowl winning coach with Philly. Obviously, we know his relationship with Andrew Luck. They need a coach at the end of the day. You fired Troy Taylor. I understand we had a whole conversation about this last week. JB he wasn't against the firing per se. He was against the reasoning behind the firing. Regardless of that, the man won 6 games in 2 years. So, he got let go, and they need a new head coach. And I think Frank Reich, I'm not mad that Frank Reich is the interim coach. Who's out there?
What a joke. Absolute bitch-made joke. Bitch-made hire. Bitch-made act. Andrew Luck's a bitch-made motherfucking human being. That's where I'm at with it. So, it is what it is. Fired a good man that had no reason to get fired, and you hire your homeboy because it's an inside job is an absolute mockery of the system. It's an absolute mockery of all the coaches who have grinded to get to this spot. And then you hire your fucking boy that coddled to you when he was your coach is an absolute joke. This is a mockery. This is why coaching has become so fucked up, because it's all an inside job. It's all an inside job. And no one else out there that's grinded that we've been told for 30 years to do this and do that and work as a GA and get the coffee and do all the shit no longer matters. And I get it. I get all the, it's you problem scenario. That's how I am. It's all good. It's a you problem, blah, 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 nepotism, who you know, who knows me, scenarios. I get all that shit. But then at the other side of it, then don't tell the grinders to continue to grind. Just tell them straight out, you don't have no shot. That's all I'm saying. And this has become a mockery. And this is clearly now even pissed me off more after the initial hire, when I know that for a fact he who the man is character-wise, and then you go and hire this guy. It's kind of a fucking sad state of affairs, in my opinion, when in the coaching world. But it is what it is. Smitty gave your take, I gave mine. Fuck him.
There it is. Well, in other news, keep this train rolling. You kind of gave us a teaser before the break saying that you wanted to save the Deion news to this second hour. So I guess this is the time to bring that up. You guys, unless you were sleeping underneath the rock, then you saw that Coach Prime got an extended contract, new deal to stay with Colorado for at least the next 5 years, $54 million extension, making him one of the highest paid coaches in the nation. Obviously, big time deal here. I'm gonna throw it to Jason first and get his take, man. Do you believe Deion earned this money?
Well, based on your you and I.
No, did he earn it? Don't worry about me. I didn't say that yet.
No, he hasn't earned it. No, he hasn't earned it. But based on you and I's discussion on earn versus worth, you already know our whole difference in opinion on the earn versus the worth thing we've been talking about for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, he did not earn it, but he is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be clear. What the money that he's brought into the program and what he's done with Boulder as far as resonating and rejuvenating a pretty much dead town when it comes to football. That is why he's getting paid, in my opinion. To put him up there above Belichick or right there with Belichick already, even though Belichick hasn't coached what?
No, keep going.
Even though Belichick hasn't coached college, obviously we hire guys from their resume, not for what we think they'll do, right? That's what your point is, right? Belichick has obviously one of the greatest coaches in the history of football. We've already put Deion above him. So did he earn that? No. Is he worth it in this current landscape at Colorado? Yes. But he's paid it. I think he's bumped him all the way towards the top of the Big 12. And I don't think he's done half of what those other coaches have done in the same conference. I think it's back. It's going to be back to a whole race thing. That's what it's going to be. Everyone's going to be happy that a brother got paid, and all the brothers in the chat and all the fucking left-wing fucking self-righteous folks are going to say he's worth every penny. And then you're going to get the realist over here on this side like myself.
No, I don't say that.
He hasn't earned it at all. I am saying it. I'm a realist. I'm a truth teller.
The way you're saying
he has yet to earn it.
You said the leftists are the ones that's just brothers and love them, and then you said the realists who are the right or the
no. I didn't say that. I said the realist and me. I said me, myself, the truth teller. I didn't say the right or real. I said the truth telling myself.
Leave with the left end, because then it just, you know what I mean?
Well, that's who's crying. There ain't no right over here crying.
Everybody's celebrating it. You're the only person crying.
That's my point. So you just made my point. You're celebrating it for what?
Everybody knows, right?
All right. So give me his. Tell me Deion's biggest win. Go.
It don't matter about his biggest win.
We can't do a real show.
That didn't prove nothing. Tell me his biggest win. I'll tell you what he's done. He's turned the program around.
Is he higher paid than
he's turned the program around from nothing to everything. Every single weekend they're on Big Noon. They're on college game
That's
games.
not the question
Not only has the popularity changed, the winning
has changed.
They were 1-11. They
Answer
went
the question.
to 9-4. They went to a bowl game. They lost the bowl game. You're right, but the first bowl game in years. From a standpoint of money, we talk about the money, the ticket sale. We talk about the popularity. All that matters when you're investing into a coach. It's not just X and O's. It's not just wins and losses. It's not just ticket sale. It's everything. And he's improved everything.
Isn't that what I said?
He's bringing
why are you making my point, Tommy?
He got a high
making my point
program. First bowl game in years, 9 wins, national televised games. Any category you want to look at.
Why are you making my point? Why are you making my points?
You're making my points.
No, I'm not. I said he's worth it. He hasn't earned it. I asked you a specific question. I asked you, tell me why he's worth it.
You asked me. You said to me his biggest win. I who cares? I'm
well,
saying
that's what I'm saying, homie. I already said what you said. Smitty, I already said what you said, though, homie. I already said what you said. I already said what he's done in Colorado, what he's done for the place.
Well, that's why he earned it.
No, he's not earned it. He's worth it. He's not earned it, homie.
That's how you earn it. You do stuff to earn it. What are you talking about?
Since you won't answer and you refuse to answer, which is funny as shit because you can't answer because you don't have a fucking answer. That's number one.
Question? No, what's your question?
Give me a big game he's won. Give me one big game that stands out he's won.
TCU, first year. At the time, it was a big win. At the time,
they never were ranked.
At that time, it was a big win.
Anyway,
at that moment.
Why? Because it's TCU?
At that time, it was a big win.
Has he won a bowl game ever?
No, he's been it for 2 years.
No. Did he win at Jackson State?
He took to a bowl game, no.
Did he win, homie, or not?
No, he
didn't. Did you see what I'm saying, homie? Like, you prime sexuals, homie, blow my mind.
I'm not
Y'all can't answer my question, homie.
Since you asked me, since you asked me a question, let me ask you a question. So if he wins that bowl game last year,
my motherfucking question yet, homie.
I said no, he didn't. So it's my turn now. So if he wins that bowl game and go 10-4,
between you, Matt, and Bailey, Matt, and Bailey are fucking the most blinded fucking prime sexuals I've ever met. Well, I was still talking.
Sexual.
You interrupted me, homie. I answered you a question. But I was still talking, though. That's why. Because I didn't let you go, homie. I asked you a question. You refused to answer the motherfucker.
I answered the question,
and then you mad at me. Now you mad at me.
I answered the question.
You mad at me because you interrupted me because you can't answer my fucking question.
Was it rhetorical or did you want to answer?
Yeah. You ain't answered my question yet.
You asked me you said name a
Give me
team.
a big win, homie. Give me a good win. Give me a quality win they've had. Give me one.
And you didn't like it. So you can shake your head all you want. You asked me a question, I threw it out. What I'm telling you is he had 9 wins. He took a program from 1-11 and went to 9-4. That's what I care about. I care about road travel. I care about the growth. I care about where were you at before I got there and where are you at now that I'm here. Every area is improved. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. So when you say earned, that's the material you use to earn. That's why you earn it.
Oh, it's not.
Has he won the biggest game of the thing? No, he hasn't. But they're way better women than they was without him. That's not what you do to earn.
The beginning, homie.
Just say he's worth it. I would agree with you if you just said he's worth the money, like I said he is. That's what y'all. I'm gonna start calling you and all you prime sexuals haters. That's what y'all are. Y'all are literally fucking the definition of hate. But when I tell the truth and I say this man is worth every penny, I'm still a hater because I said he hasn't earned it. Make that make sense, homie. You motherfuckers are the biggest fucking dick riders I've ever met in my fucking life. You prime sexuals are fucking an embarrassment to the fucking game, homie. I'm going to be straight up real. He ain't beat Kalani or near has a resume as him, and he just upped him by fucking $5 million. He hasn't beat Chris Kleiman or any of these fucking legends, and he upped him by $5 million. And we're saying that he's earned it. That's what came out of your motherfucking mouth, homie. He's earned it. Bullshit. He's worth it. There's a huge difference in this scenario with this man. He has literally worth the money. I said it, and I'm still a hater. That tells you right now what the fuck it's about, homie. It's the skin color of our skin, homie. That's why the country's so divided, homie. This is why I've been saying we're divided in this country for so long. Because we are praising this motherfucker right now, Smitty. We're praising him for what reason, homie? Be real. Like, give me the real. Smitty, hold on, though, Smitty. Hold on, I'm gonna finish real quick. And then you can have it.
Nothing to do with race right now.
Hold on, though. I'm gonna finish, and then I want to just and you can have it.
I don't want
the next time a big time white coach wins and gets paid, we better talk about it.
Let's do it.
I'm just saying. I want to cut the race baiting shit out on this show.
Yeah, because
we're different than all these other shows. I want to be different than all these shows. We celebrate everybody. I've never been, oh, he's black. Oh, he's white. And I'm going to defend Smitty. He's never been, oh, he's white or he's black. I'm saying in this scenario, the number one reason why we're celebrating him is because he's a brother and we want to see him be paid. And that's just fact. I'm not even against that. I'm not crying about that. I think everyone knows what I've advocated for my whole fucking life. So anyone wants to use the race thing on me can eat a fucking dick up. All I'm trying to tell you is that's why we're celebrating it, though, today. Let's keep it funky, homie. He hasn't earned it. He's worth it. And I've said it. I've said he's worth every penny. I said he's not worth the money, though, and I'm called a hater. That's why I just want to be clear, homie. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
You said a lot. First of all, before I lose track of this, I'm fine. Let's talk about every coach that gets paid a contract. I don't mind that, but the reason we talk about Deion because he's the biggest name, and let's be real. We want views on our shows and our content. People don't care about every single coach around the nation, but we could talk about it just to prove that we're not biased, but we are biased. Every platform is biased. They're gonna talk about the biggest names and the biggest topics. That's how you get the biggest views. Number one, but number two, though, if you want to stay on that point, Curt Cignetti, IU's head coach, got paid, if I'm not mistaken, like an 8-year deal, $8 million. He been there for what, 1 year, if I'm not mistaken? Had an incredible year. But shout out to Curt Cignetti. He earned that. He took IU from somewhere where they were irrelevant and took them to the first year into the college playoffs, one of the best records in all of college football. He earned that by the work he did. You acting like these guys are just getting paid money just because they name and we're not seeing no results. No, Deion has not won a bowl game yet. No, he has not won a national championship. We're not saying he's the greatest coach in college football. We're not saying he's the greatest coach of all time. All I'm saying is he's earned the money that they're giving him by the actual work that he's done in the last 2 years. Is there still room to grow? Of course. We're not saying like the end of the road is here and he's already accomplished everything. No, but he's not getting paid because he's Deion Sanders or because he's black. And we're not praising him just because he's black. What we're praising him for, he's getting paid for the work he's actually done. You don't care about the fact that he took a program that was 1-11, and then in 2 years they went 9-4 and went to a bowl game because you look at it as well. The schedule was easy. Well, the schedule was easy. You could argue the schedule was easy before you got there, and they were 1-11, and they were irrelevant. You can make the argument whenever you want to, but the problem and the reason why I call you a hater, I don't know about nobody else. The reason why I call you a hater often on Deion and Colorado topics, nothing to do with race, is because anytime there's a Colorado or Deion topic in the last 2 years, it don't matter what it is, you always find some way to pull out the negative, and then you call it being real. Cool, that's what you call it. Agree to disagree. Cool. I think sometimes it's you being real because there's been times that I've agreed with you on certain topics, but sometimes it's like,
so you don't agree with me? I'm a hater.
You're just trying to just pull something, just trying to find something, just
because you don't agree. I'm a hater.
You always saying something negative.
Thank you for proving my point, homie. So you don't agree, and I'm a hater. That's a literal fact. That's what you just said. Since you don't agree with what I said, I'm automatically a hater. That's absolutely micro. You did just say that. You just said that. You said anytime I come out and talk about a Deion topic, you call me a hater because I find something negative. It's not negative at all. It's just the truth.
But you don't do that with everybody else.
Let me ask you something.
There's something there. You claim you like Deion and you support him, but you got a weird way of showing it. All I'm saying is you always
because I'm honest.
Even when it's like a praise, like I'm trying to think. In the past, it was it might be something about the GPA of the team going up. You're like, hey, congratulations on that, Deion. But it's like what? It's like
that's what it is. That's what it is. I've been critiqued my whole life, homie. I've been critiqued, and it's okay, right?
Never praise him like, man, that was good. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, that's what coaching is. That's what coaching is. We made this soft.
Do it with everybody though. Don't just do it with Deion.
I do, and I need you to too. And I need you to bring up. Did you talk about Kenny Dillingham,
homie? Do it, Pete Carroll, homie. You don't do it with everybody because you're biased to people who you like.
I've done it. I've done it with Pete Carroll. What the fuck are you talking about?
Get out of here.
Have you talked about Kenny Dillingham, who's in his same conference, who beat his ass?
Don't talk about him. Put him on the rundown.
Answer the question. Ask the question. Have you talked about Kalani in the same conference who beat his ass? I don't know. Yeah,
you don't want to talk about him.
Who don't?
Put him on the rundown. You never told
What do you
Bailey,
mean?
hey,
We
Bailey, I
literally
wanna talk
talked about him, homie. We talked about him already. What are you talking about? We've already talked about him. What are you talking about? We've already talked about him. Kenny Dillingham in the same conference. I have never heard any of you prime sexuals talk about him beating their ass and going to the playoff. I haven't talked to you about. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard Kalani with a 20-year resume beating his ass in a bowl game. But y'all want to talk about Deion when he gets paid and say he's worth it. Like,
the difference between you though and us is we want Kenny Dillingham to get paid. We want Kalani to get paid. Like we want these guys to get paid. And if they got paid, if they got paid today, 6 years, $60 million. I'm the same way with everybody. I want people to get paid. I don't get mad when the NIL guy, what's his name, from the other day from McChesney State gets the bag. I don't care about that. I look at that like, dang, that's great. I'm glad this young man got money. I'm glad that coach got paid to take care of himself and his family. Because to me, I look at it like, okay, there's money out there to be made. I look at it from a standpoint selfishly like, shoot, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Why can't JB do it? Why can't Bailey do it? I look at it that way. I want us all to eat. Because there's enough food out here for us all to eat. I'm the same way with everything. I don't white, black, orange, blue. So when you brought up race, I'm like, what are you talking about? This ain't got
well, you're wrong. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're fucking lying. Okay. And you're getting sensitive and hurt. You're hurt over this guy because he's Deion Sanders. You're hurt over your feelings. Your feelings are hurt. Your feelings are hurt because you're mad and sad that you can't be like me, homie. All you motherfuckers can't be like me. Because, see, I'm the only real cuss on here that actually talks about everyone the same fucking way. Y'all don't. I ain't never heard y'all do it. I ain't never heard you, Smitty, talk about every type of coach. I only hear you talk about his prime sexual, homie. So why? How is that different? I'm not a hater, homie. I can start calling you a fucking hater every day on this show when you don't talk about a white coach, homie. Let's keep it funky. Now you want to talk about all this full bullshit? Every time you don't talk about a white coach on here, I'm going to say you're a hater. Fair? Cool. Let's go. Move on next.
That makes zero sense. You know what I find fascinating on the show?
Absolutely makes sense, homie.
You will hear like one thing that like I say, I like my rant, and then
no.
You'll take it however you want to take it. And
y'all can't handle the truth, homie. Y'all can't handle the truth though. But y'all can't handle the truth though. Y'all can't handle the truth. You confuse me on this show. Talk about women. I talk about men. I talk about white, black, Asian. It don't matter, homie. That's the fact that you all keep dismissing. When the fuck?
Are you talking to the chat right now? Because I've never called you racist.
I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about everybody.
I didn't mention race. I swear to in my factor cap, baby. Have I even mentioned race? I've not even mentioned race. So you must be reading the chat, and the chat must be bothering you, and they got you under your skin. I haven't even mentioned it, homie. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm saying whatever time we put on the rundown, I'm going to talk about. If you want to talk about Dillingham tomorrow for an hour, we're going to talk about for an hour. Find some topics that's relevant that makes it make sense. Put them as the thumbnail. Let's put Kalani as the thumbnail. Let's see how that does with the views, and we'll talk about it. I'm gonna give my.
We already know. We not the viewership.
Why do you keep bringing that up there?
No, the viewership.
About Deion because who he is.
Nah, but
happens to be black. So
you're telling me that this show's only based on the thumbnail? All we can talk about now.
No, I'm not. We based on whatever we decide we want to talk about. But me, you, and Bailey have not wanted to talk about Dillingham or Kalani.
It's unbelievable.
Jimmy, you act like you have no control over the rundown. Like you're talking to me like you never want, homie. I've never been against anything.
We'll come back. We'll come back to. We got a guest. We got to find out. We got
like the white coaches. I don't care.
We got a big guest in here. Can't thank him enough for joining the program. Let's make our main man. This man has all the insight that we need today on the realest show on planet Earth. It's Merciless Monday, and our main man is joining the show. Ryan Roberts joins us. Welcome, Amanda.
What's up,
brother?
How are you?
How you doing, man? Appreciate you joining us.
No doubt, man. I came into a very heated discussion, it sounded like, but
it's a normal day. It's a normal day, man.
Regular day. Love it.
Regular day for us, man. Hey, man, I got to ask you right out the gate. Any shocker? I asked Smitty as our poll question, biggest shock in the Final Four. I got to just ask you, is there? We both said there is no shock. They're all ones. Is this the end of mid-majors? Is this the end of the mid-major?
It seems like it, doesn't it? I mean, because people before the tournament were predicting that this was going to be like the most boring field ever because it was just going to be like, hey, just pick the highest seeds and that's going to move forward. And I mean, it's still been exciting basketball in a lot of instances, but like there's been also some games where you're just like, that was not competitive and that wasn't fun at all, right? But I mean, I tend to agree with that though, is that I just the NIL space is so weird now, right? Like in the transfer portal space, because they're just I mean, the blue bloods and whatever you want to call them in college basketball, they're just depleting the mid-major rosters at this point, right? Like we're seeing it literally, and it's such weird timing because literally the transfer portal is open now, right? Where you're just like, okay, these guys are jumping all over the place, and it's just very unfortunate because I just don't think I don't think there's ever really a even playing field per se, but it's become even worse obviously now with the transfer portal the way it is.
Yeah, before Smitty jumps in, this is the thing. I was low key rooting for my main man, Michigan State, and Tom Izzo, just because I love how his style is. I picked Houston to win it all because of the money, but we got 4-1 in expected. But Izzo basically addressed this whole portal thing and was like, man, it's disrespectful to worry about who's in the portal right now when I got my own kids here that are loyal to me right now. And so I love his take. I love the Patino takes throughout the year about the portal, Calipari's take about the portal last week. Why am I dealing with this in the Sweet? Am I getting ready for a Sweet 16? As of 6 this morning, I believe there's 1,000 in the portal, and the tournament hasn't even ended yet. It's the Final Four weekend coming up, and we got 1,000 in the portal.
I mean, we're dealing with it with college football, right? I mean, like literally we had players on college football playoff teams that were entering the portal. Now, those kids, for the most part, were, just the tail end of a roster. But, like, as you know, in a 16-plus game season, like, depth matters on a roster, you know what I mean? In practices, not only in the games that we watch every week. So, yeah, man, it's unfortunate. They really, I don't think we can really depend on the NCAA to do something revolutionary here, but like these portal windows have to be moved around a little bit because it is depleting rosters in like the worst possible times right now.
No doubt.
100%, man. Again, thanks for joining the show. I want to ask you back to the March Madness here in the Final Four. We all agree that, it definitely feels like, the mid-majors, it might be the end of them getting the Cinderella stories and stuff like that. But on the flip side, is it a kind of a blessing in disguise that we have the 4 number 1 seeds, like make the best of the best playing each other in the Final Four? Because I'm expecting to see a great battle with these 4 teams. Like, I know we love the Cinderella stories, but, I mean, at the end of the day, I want to see good on good, Yeah.
I think it depends on your perspective of college basketball, right? Like for a lot of people, they don't watch year round, so like they don't really care about like who the top of the top is. They want to see great storylines, in March and that type of thing, right? So like for me personally, I agree with you. I would rather much see like I respect dynasties. I respect really good football teams, right? And good basketball teams and good baseball teams, whatever it is. I want to watch the best of the best at all times, and I want the best to win, most of the time, more often than not. But like for a casual fan, they like seeing VCU, make a large run. They like seeing Florida Gulf Coast have that like just Cinderella run to, whatever. So I think it really depends what you like, right? Like I assume that you're probably a former athlete, which is why like you want to see like really good football players, right? You want to see really good basketball players. You want to see that ultimately. So for me, like I just think that that's kind of, it really depends on what your perspective is. I was an athlete as well. So like I just respect really good athletes and watching them do amazing things. So I think that's going to be great basketball down the stretch. And ultimately, you could also argue that like if one of those Cinderellas did make it to a Final Four, like that's awesome and stuff. But like when they have to play Duke or Houston, it's probably not going to end too well ultimately. You know what I mean? So I think most part it depends on perspective in that regard.
Hey, Ryan, we got you here, man, to talk football, not this basketball, which I used to call the round balls idiots game. We got football now to talk about. That's what you do best. One of the best writers out there. I got to ask you in this draft. I know you've done every single evaluation. I know it's getting closer and closer. The number 3 spot is, I think a lot of people want to know, even though the Giants did what they did with Jameis Winston on a 2-year, $8 million and a 1-year, $21 million, which basically has named Russell Wilson the starter, in my opinion, for just the contract and the year. Are they still going to draft a possible Shedeur Sanders or any QB at that 3rd spot, in your opinion?
I think Shedeur is going to fall a little bit in this class, and I'm not sure if it's like fall to the back end of the top 10 or it's going to fall out of the top 10, but the Giants are just in such a weird spot, right? Because like you said, I mean, you sign Russell Wilson, you have Jameis Winston, Tommy DeVito still on the roster, whatever. Who cares about that one? But like, you have 3 players on the roster right now at the quarterback position. You could argue that you could draft a Shador and then he battles and he's one of the top 3, and then you see when he's ready, like that type of stuff. But like, the Giants are just in such a bad spot from a, like, Brian Daboll, after the bad couple years now, like, he needs to win in order to preserve his job going into 2026. And the same thing with the general manager, Joe Shane. Like, they need to win ultimately, right, to preserve their job. So I don't think it's productive for them, in my opinion, to go the veteran route in quarterback in free agency and to attack it that way and then draft a quarterback to sit when you need to win now, ultimately, right? So if an Abdul Carter from Penn State, the defensive end, or a Travis Hunter, the do-it-all athlete out of Colorado, is sitting there at 3, or even if you want to go a Mason Graham from Michigan or an offensive lineman, like whatever it is, I think that you're drafting to get a player on the field and to have an impact in 2025, because ultimately the GM and the head coach's jobs are on the line going into 2025.
No doubt.
Let me ask you this. So is it pretty much a lock that Cam Ward is going number 1 to the Titans? That's pretty much all I've been seeing online.
It's been a lock for a long time, honestly, like even before the Combine. Like, the Combine's great because that's where, like, Combine is the only spot, Indianapolis, where you have the media, you have the scouts, you have the decision makers, you have the players, you have the agents, all in one hub, right? Like, that's one spot. And that's usually where people get a lot of their information every single year. You usually have a very, I don't want to say very different, but you have a different assortment of the landscape after Indianapolis than what you did going forward. But like, everybody knew even before Indy, Cam Ward is going to be the first overall pick. The question is, who's going to be picking at number 1? Like, that was the question for a long time, right? It was like, is Tennessee going to be picking 1? Is somebody going to trade up for Cam Ward? Like, that was the question. And you're going to continue to hear the rumors about Tennessee being open for business. And honestly, like, if someone threw out like just a crazy amounts of capital and whatever, maybe they would still be open for business. But like, as of today, I would be shocked if Cam Ward is not the first overall pick, and I would be surprised if Tennessee wasn't taking him at number 1 overall.
If there is a shock and he's not, who is the number 1 pick? Like, who is that guy that is that just up in there?
So if it's Tennessee sticking at 1 and they don't draft Cam Ward, I think it would be Abdul Carter, but I just think that's so unlikely at this point. Like, I'll put it like this, Jason. Like, I don't think that they're sticking at 1 to take Shador Sanders, if that's your question, right? Like, I don't think it's a quarterback versus quarterback debate. I think they would just have a debate of best player available versus their potential franchise quarterback. Like, that's the debate. So if it was somebody, it would be Abdul Carter, but it would definitely be Tennessee picking Abdul Carter, because I don't think anybody's trading up to get Abdul Carter. Because I think the last time, I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I am correct about this. The last time someone traded up to number 1 for a non-quarterback was like Orlando Pace in the 90s, right? So like, that has not happened in a very, very long time. So if it is not quarterback at number 1, it would still be Tennessee picking, and it would just be them taking the best player available. I would assume that it would be Abdul Carter in that situation.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about the Cleveland Browns? Like, I feel like they're in a weird spot too, right? Obviously, you just signed, Myles Garrett, to this, huge deal. There's one side of media saying, they should get Abdul Carter, put him opposite Myles Garrett, and they got these 2 dominant defensive ends, pass rushers on defense, and you can just kind of, that could be your identity, right? Leading by defense, limiting possessions, etc. On the flip side, Deshaun Watson, had to get another surgery, and even when he's playing on the field, he looks like a shell of himself. He's done. They got Kenny Pickett, I believe, right now in the locker room, if I'm not mistaken, at QB. So they don't really, they still need a quarterback, is what I'm saying. Like, if you're Cleveland, what do you do?
Well, so I would take best player available. I would not take Shador at number 3 personally. That's just my perspective. I would take the best player available.
At 2.
Okay. So the latest that I've heard about Cleveland, and there's a lot of rumors out there, and this isn't like breaking news or anything, but apparently they are still interested in the veteran quarterback market, and it's not through free agency now, right? Like, that would be bringing in a Kirk Cousins or someone like that to potentially be the stopgap, drafting best player available at number 3, and then taking a quarterback, maybe like a Jalen Milroe or something on day 2 to potentially learn behind a quarterback. Like, that's kind of the latest perspective. I was on the other side. Like, I thought they were going to take a quarterback, not necessarily because I thought that's what they should do, but because I thought that's what they were going to do. Like, that's what I thought for a long time, but that's just kind of the latest. We'll see if things change over the next few weeks. We are in smokescreen season, right? We're in like I always joke like this time of year, like you can only believe about like 17% of things that you hear out in the universe right now. Like everything is a lie. Like it really is. So trying to understand that in the next couple weeks is going to be an interesting conversation because honestly, I think they're the wild card of the top 10. Like they could draft a quarterback, which completely shifts ideologies behind them. They could take best player available, which also will shift ideologies behind them. We, for the most part, think the Tennessee is going to take quarterback. And then number 2, most likely we're going to talk about best player available. Other way around. Number 3, we're going to talk about best player available. But what does Cleveland do right before that best player available and completely shifts kind of ideologies behind them? So it's going to be fascinating to watch. But I would say right now that like, if I had to bet today, it would be for either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter be Cleveland Browns' potential draft pick. I do not think that Shedeur necessarily, not that he isn't in play, but I think he's less likely than I once thought he could be.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm on record, man. I think this quarterback class is the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. Haven't played a position and coached it. I think it's the worst I've
worse
ever.
Worse than 2022? That was a really bad class, man. 2022 was bad.
This is horrific. I don't think any of these guys will be heard of in a long time. You're going to hear something. It'll be a no-name in this draft that ends up making it and playing the longest in the NFL. A Shook or one of these other guys. It ain't even going to be the big-name guy. In Cleveland's scenario, I just want to ask you real quick. Abdul Carter makes the most sense just because him and Myles Garrett together are generational at the edge, right? And the same with the Giants. Like the Giants, can they honestly get rid of or trade like a Burns and that money that he has, and then live with Thibodeau and get a Abdul Carter at the 3rd spot and make that roster better? Because right now they got Russell Wilson, Jameis. Daboll has to win. He's on the firing block. Let's just be honest. I don't see him drafting a rookie QB. It's not going to help that team at all unless the GM is going to stay and they've told him, hey, you're safe. I just can't see that scenario.
I can't either. Because I think that it's become less and less, but like general managers and head coaches used to be attached by the hip, right? Like when one was gone, usually the other one was gone. That's kind of changed a little bit the last couple of years. We're seeing like more general managers get past the chopping block and vice versa. But I do think that that's one situation where I think both those Giants guys are on the chopping block together. Like if the Giants have a bad season, I think that they're completely cleaning house. I don't think they're cleaning house with one and keeping the other. So that's kind of like my ideology of like what the Giants are going to do from a decision-making perspective. But I do think that, like, when we talk about this draft, I think Abdul Carter, for me, would be the pick with Cleveland's. Like, if I had this selection, I did have a guy that covers the Cleveland Browns, so I trust his intel and just his perspective on the Browns, who was texting me this morning, actually, that was talking about, like, he thinks that if they stick at 2, they should probably take Travis Hunter. And his reason for that was to play wide receiver because they were the 32nd ranked offense in the NFL last year. And I'm like, I understand that, but, like, I think that just long-term, an Abdul Carter affects the football game a lot more than what Travis Hunter will do. Because, like, we can have fun with the Travis Hunter plays corner and Travis Hunter's play wide receiver, but, like, on the NFL level, he's not going to be able to play 50-plus snaps on both sides of the football. Like, that's just not going to happen. It's not sustainable, in my opinion, right? So I would take Abdul. Number 3 is fascinating because if Abdul Carter's there, to your point, on paper, it's not a huge need on the edge for the New York Giants, right? Like you do have Brian Burns, you do have Kayvon Thibodeau. Actually, I think the piece that would get moved easier is actually Thibodeau, just because he's on the rookie contract, so he would be a guy that would be able to be moved
and
a little
injury
bit easier.
prone.
Yeah, I just think, like, look, we can talk about strengths versus needs and best player available, all that type of stuff. The Giants are a bad roster. Right? So you take the best player available and we'll figure that out next step. We'll figure that out. Let's not pass on the best player available because you have a bigger perceived quote unquote need ultimately. Right? So I think that they would take best player available out of those 2. The only other wild card is if they wanted to go offensive tackle at 3, even though I think I just think it's too high for an offensive tackle in this class, in my opinion. I would take one of those 2 potential elite players. But that's just kind of the latest that I think. I mean, they Giants are a little bit of a dumpster fire, man. So predicting exactly what they're going to do is a little bit tough this time of year, but I'd be very surprised if they didn't take one of those blue chippers at the top.
And I know Smitty has a question. My last thing, Smitty, because there's no Joe Alt in this draft. That would help the argument, right? Like I would say, hey, there's a tackle that we can even manipulate in moving up or down. There is no Joe Alt to your Orlando Pace take earlier. Like there's no one to trade for like that guy. You know what I mean? So yeah.
We're trying to make a couple of them that guy in this class just because of the demand of the offensive tackle position. But like for instance, I like Will Campbell from LSU. I like him. But like in a traditional draft, he's probably more a teens pick, right? Like maybe like borderline top 20. Like that's what he is. He's not a top 5 NFL draft pick in my opinion. Some people actually think that Armen Membal, the right tackle from Missouri, is going to be the first offensive tackle off the board. We'll see. Again, he's a talented player. He should not be a top 5 overall draft pick. The only guy that I would say, Jason, like if Josh Simmons from Ohio State, the left tackle, never got hurt and didn't have the patella tendon injury, I think that he might be in that conversation-ish. Like he would at least be in the borderline of that conversation. But with the injury, the long term, like all that stuff kind of baked into one conversation, I do think that offensive tackle is just way too rich in the top 5 in this class.
No doubt.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Let me take it back to college football a little bit here specifically. I know that there's been some talk in like the last month or so. A couple of coaches saying that they're basically canceling like spring ball, or at least the spring game, just because of the whole dynamic with other coaches, trying to recruit their players and steal their players and not really wanting to put that film out there. I guess what's your take on the whole just the spring games being canceled, spring ball being shifted? We saw Deion and my guy from Syracuse. They were trying to find a way to come together and do like a camp, But that got shut down. So, what's your overall take on that?
It's a mess. I mean, it's a mess. There's no uniformity to it anymore, and I guess there shouldn't be to a degree because some teams are playing longer seasons than others. So there should be a little bit of like what you think is best for your program at the end of the day. I do think that should be injected a little bit, but like we have some teams, like Notre Dame is one, for instance, that I know went from 25 practices down to 15 because they were in the college football playoff or in the college football final. So they moved it from 25 to 15. They're having a spring game still because head coach Marcus Freeman said that he believes in it. Like he thinks that is important for his team and all that type of stuff. There's some teams that are going away from a college football spring game and they're going into like a showcase thing, which is just for show, right? Like, hey guys, come out here. This is cool. You get to see the players still. It's not the same format, but like you get to have a fun events at our stadium. Like, cool, come do that. And there's others that are just like, this isn't useful for us. Like, we need to get our bodies back. We need to get into the summer. We need to get in. It's interesting because I don't know if anybody knows the exact formula that's the right one at this point, right? Like we were just structured so much in our minds, like spring ball, spring ball, spring ball. But I do think there's validity to every side of like what the argument is. But I will say this is that, and this is the thing that I'm watching most over the next couple years as this spring stuff just kind of goes back and forth is that the spring transfer portal window, and we talked about the transfer portal a little bit already, usually the guys that are jumping into that portal window are guys that after spring ball know like, hey, I'm not probably winning a starting job here. Like I'm probably not. Like I'm probably an odd man looking out. So I'm entering the portal so that now I can get the whole summer, the whole fall camp. I can get a longer window. What happens now if a player who thinks that they're in a competition, but they canceled spring ball, and then you don't know who wins that competition until in the summer or into fall camp, and now you're transferring to a different spot, and you had less of a window, so now the 2025 season is like fully a wash. Like it is going to be fascinating to see just how the transfer portal window right after spring combined with an alternated spring practice schedule and just fundamental understanding of what it's going to look like. It is going to be, and I don't know if I can curse on the show, but like, it's going to be a shit show, man. Like it is going to be, if it's not already a shit show with just how the transfer portal is nowadays with these windows and just the amount of players that are jumping in and some players that are making really bad decisions. Because here's the other thing is that, I'm sorry for getting long winded on this. I work in the consulting side of the business. So I know a lot of agents in the industry, right? And a lot of agents went from this. They went, I'm an NFL agent, but I'm dipping into the NIL space, right? So what are the sports agents telling them now? The sports agents are talking to these kids on the back end and saying, hey, move here. I'll get you X amount of money. And they are making rash decisions. But now where is the good support of people behind the scenes that are giving you legitimately good advice and not, because the agents are making money off of that, right? So like, obviously they have reasons for suggesting that. Where are the good people behind the scenes that are giving you solid advice, right? Like, no, hey, you might not be a starter, but stick it out. Long-term, it's better for your future. Long-term, it's not better for your future. Whatever it is, there's just no good advice happening. And honestly, the fact that we are changing so much structurally of what spring practice looked like, it's going to make it way worse in the long term because these kids are not getting good advice just in a general sense. Like they're not getting any good advice behind the scenes.
And then you got the NCAA, Ryan. You got the non-caring assholes of America. Like, that's what it stands for, and that's the problem. So I think that's the issue. They continue to wipe their hands clean as they play judge, jury, and executioner. It's the most hypocritical entity on planet Earth. Like, they'll fine you a coach for giving a burger out or flying their girlfriend to a Rose Bowl, and then they'll suspend a team like Michigan for doing all these other things, but then they'll allow a $200,000 visit on a Saturday for Arch Manning. Like, it fucking makes sense, right? Make it make sense. Yeah. It's drama. It's crazy. I'm glad to have you on real quick. I got to go back to the NFL real quick. I want to ask you, if I were to say the Giants at 3, would you say I'm crazy or not if I said that Genty's in play because of the whole debacle with the entire, Saquon issue? And listen, we can admit, I guess the biggest part of growth as a human is admitting when you're wrong, right? I think they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darnell. And then you and the Prime Sexuals. So they literally fucked it up. And now you have to say, hey, you know what? We got to get it back. We got to get another back who right now looks the part. And I don't know. I mean, it's a great running back class. We might argue it's the deepest of any position in the draft. Do you take it? Do you risk it and get that back at number 3 as the best available? Or do you do a Travis Hunter type? I'm just saying, would I be crazy if I say they were to take it back?
You know what's funny is this morning, because again, I was going back and forth with my Cleveland Browns guy about like what they're going to do. And I actually texted him. I was like, just take Ashton Genty there. Just take him there, right? Because they obviously let go of Nick Chubb. And like, I want chaos at the top, right? Because honestly, like that's entertaining to me. And that's good analysis at the end of the day. Like, I'd rather break down chaos than just like boring. Like if I put out a cookie cutter mock draft and that's exactly how it goes, no one's going to listen to the analysis afterwards. It's boring. No one cares about that, right? So, is Ashton Genty a top 5 player in this class? Yes, I think he is, in a vacuum, right? Not again, we're not baking in positional value up and down, like all those types of things. Is he a top 5 player in the class? Yes. It would be also a very Joe Shane thing to be like, man, I really pissed off the entire fan base, so I need to find another running back, right? Like, that would be funny. But I do think the Giants, though, on paper, Tyrone Tracy's a good back. Is he as good as Saquon? Is he as good as Ashton Genty? Probably not. But like, you are in such a win now mode. I'm not sure Ashton Genty like really moves the needle enough for you compared to like a really great pass rusher, for instance, right? Or a Travis Hunter, for instance. I think that you probably need to take those players. Would I be shocked if it happens? Slightly. I would be very surprised though if it would happen. I think that he's going to be more in the like Las Vegas Raiders bucket of like late in the top 10, potentially a guy that goes that spot. If not, he's not going to get past Dallas at like pick 12 or where the heck they are on the spot. So
I like it in Dallas. I actually like Dallas.
Yeah, that'd be really good for Dallas.
Yeah. Well, and he likes it too. He likes it. He's from, he's been all over the place. He was in Italy at one point. He was in Virginia, but like his home is Frisco, Texas, right? And he literally, like someone asked him, was like, where would you like to play NFL football? And like, this is probably not the answer his agent wanted him to give, because typically the answer is, oh, I'll play for whoever wants to draft me and all that type of stuff, right? Like, that's the cliche. But he was like, oh, I would love to play at the Star. Like, I played football in Frisco. I would love to get back to Dallas. So, yeah, he would love it. I think they would love it. They seriously need some upgrade, obviously, at the running back position. I think it would be big for them.
No doubt.
I definitely agree. My last question, JB, and I'm good. Is there, if you have to pick one player in this NFL draft, I know this is probably a tough question, but who would you say is like one of your like biggest sleepers at any position? Just a guy that people just aren't talking about a lot, probably may get drafted day 2, day 3, but you just believe in this guy. Who would that person be?
Man, there's a few of them, but my number one, who I keep talking about recently, I just had him on our show. I literally came on for an interview. I love Jalen Knoll, the wide receiver out of Iowa State. I love that kid, man. He is about 5'10", 190-something pounds, so he's not the biggest guy of all time, but he reminds me so much of Steve Smith Sr. in the sense of like, you see his body type, you hear his profile, and you would assume he's this type of player, right? Like, you assume he's explosive, good route runner, that type of stuff. But the things that take you off guard is that he's uncommon in the sense of he wins at the catch point. He's super physical. He'll block. He does all those little things that you wouldn't think a guy his size would necessarily do. But I love Knoll. He just had 80 receptions last year. He had about 1,200 yards, despite him having to share the football with Jaden Higgins, who's going to get drafted pretty high for Iowa State as well. I think that kid is going to be drafted in the early second rounds, but I wouldn't be shocked. And here's a little bit of a bold take, I guess. I wouldn't be shocked if a team on the back end of the first round decided they wanted Jalen Noel in their offense, because this draft process is like a resume builder in a lot of instances, right? Like you have the film, you put the film on, and that's the most important part. But then after that, it's like filling in the rest of the resume. He went to the Senior Bowl. I think he was the best receiver on either side the entire week in Mobile. Then he goes to the Combine. He runs 4.39. He has a 40-plus inch vert. It's like, okay. He doesn't have any off-field issues. He hasn't had any injuries in his background other than like a nagging, I think it was like a twisted ankle or something like that, like early in his career.
Yeah.
But like he hasn't had injuries. He hasn't had off-field concerns. He's stacked good performance after good performance. I love that kid. I think he's going to be a perennial 1,000-yard receiver when he finally gets his footing in the NFL. And I think for a team that needs dynamic slot that can win after the catch, but also a guy that can play some Z and can kind of mix and match outside, I think Noel is a guy that's going to be a tremendous value in this class for Iowa State if he drops to the second round.
Ryan, I can't thank you enough. I got last thing real quick.
Yes.
This whole talk about you. I know you dabble with agents and talk to agents. I still get calls from agents and stuff about certain kids of mine either getting drafted or not, and NFL security, you name it, right? In the agent world, is it a big knock now when we see so much social media, it's so prevalent with the phones and everything that you see, all the TikToks and Instagrams, when a T-Mac or a McMillan comes out and tells everyone, I don't watch film, I play video games, blah, blah, blah. Do they take that serious? Do the agents even take any heed with that? Because Smitty and I talk about all the time, like there's these guys that put no name on it, that bash guys. They'll say his character's out as flawed and blah, 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 blah. They won't put their name on it though. But then the guy comes out and says, hey man, I don't watch as much film as you might think, blah, blah, blah. He actually says it. And do the agents look at that and knock him? Will he fall because of it? I know it's a light wide receiver class anyway. It's not nearly as good, but is he a guy that can fall because of this whole drama on social media?
It depends what you mean by fall. I think that the people that have been rejecting him top 10, honestly, I don't think he was ever going top 10, you know? So like from the media side or the general public side, I think he's going to go a little bit later than like some people have perceived him to go. But like to answer your question as directly as I can, NFL teams care about that. 100% they do. And agents care about it. Like as an agent, the whole all publicity is good publicity thing is not true in this facet of it, right? Good publicity is good publicity. You don't want to be known for something negative because what are NFL teams, I'm sure as you know, like they're hiring private investigators for these prospects, right? Like they want to know everything about him, criminal history, family backgrounds. That when they go to these school visits during the spring and summer, they're not just talking to the coaches about a player because coaches mostly say really good things about their players, right? They're talking to the counselors, the lunch ladies, like everybody. They want as much information as possible. So yes, when a player goes and says, I don't watch film, there's going to be questions of, does this kid really want to be great or is he locked into being great? And then what happens on these top 30 visits or on these Zoom calls that these teams have with these players, they're asking him about that, right? Like they're asking, they want to make sure that they're investing in good people and people that want to be great at football while being a good part of a football team ultimately. So yes, it matters. I don't know if I would say that that would necessarily drop him a ton in this class because it's not a great wide receiver class overall, but you can bet that there's some teams that are doing deeper analysis and deeper background info on a guy like a Tet McMillan because that answer is just not what you want to hear. And honestly, that's not what his agent wants to hear. Like I've heard so many stories about like agents because a part of the process outside of them doing their combine prep, they're doing interview prep too, right? Like they're supposed to know what to say to these types of questions and what they're putting out into the public. So yes, teams are going to be asking about that. The agent is probably not very happy that he said something like that, or at least let it get out into the general public, excuse me. And that question is going to be asked several times before April kicks off.
No doubt. And the last thing, you got these quarterbacks that have been veteran shopped, basically. A lot of these guys, Pete Carroll's of the world, that's older on the other side of his career, gets the Raider job, 72, 73 years old. I've been telling we've been going back and forth all spring long or all winter long about it. Like, no way he's ready. He can't afford to draft a rookie. He's got to go veteran. So they go get Geno. The Giants obviously go get two veterans. Tennessee, there was a debate. But I got to ask you, the biggest question on the board right now with Tomlin and the Steelers really not having a quarterback right now, it has to be Aaron Rodgers or trade for Kirk Cousins, right? And is that going to be a after the draft scenario?
I think it's going to be Rodgers in the end. It's just so weird that it hasn't happened because someone phrased it perfectly. It's like both sides need each other so much, right? Like they need each other.
I know.
Because the Steelers are picking at 21. And unless you're okay with taking a Jalen Milroe or a Jackson Dart at 21, which I'm not, I think that is just a really, really bad decision that could potentially happen. And honestly, I don't think Mike Tomlin's going to make that mistake after drafting Kenny Pickett number 20 overall a couple years ago. Like, I just don't think he's going to make the same mistake twice. So they need Aaron Rodgers. He's the best veteran quarterback on the market. He's, he's got a big personality. So like, there's a lot to deal with there. But like on the other side, I mean, what other options does Aaron Rodgers have on the table? It's like either the Steelers or retirement, right? Like, I mean, what else?
Like Aaron is like hoping that Minnesota will change their mind and spin the block. He wants to go. That's
what she would love.
It feels like.
Yeah, he would love it. Yeah,
and
no doubt.
He would love that. If Minnesota was open to it, I think Aaron Rodgers would like to go to Minnesota because of the situation they have. They have have an offensive-minded head coach. They have weapons. They have a good roster on paper. Like, I think that would be a good situation, but I think the Steelers are the only option for him right now. So, like, I think both sides need each other, man. I would be surprised if it was anybody else right now.
If Aaron does end up in Minnesota or hangs up the cleats, one or the other scenario, that he's not a Steeler, is it forcing Tomlin's hand to go get Kirk Cousins, though?
I mean, they have to figure out something because, again, I don't think they're going to stick at 21. I mean, maybe they trade up if they like Shedeur. Like, I don't know if they like Shedeur because I haven't done enough research on that because I just didn't ever think that they would be in range to draft Shedeur, just kind of the early conversation. So they need to have a general understanding of like where they stand with Shedeur Sanders first and foremost, because they're not getting up to get Cam Ward at number 1. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to jump 20 spots. That is going to be a crazy amount of capital. But either you're okay with going up and getting a Shedeur Sanders, or you're okay with taking one of those rookie quarterbacks, or you're okay with Kirk Cousins. And like, neither one of those options, honestly, are very enticing to me personally.
No doubt. Ryan, we can't thank you enough, man. Make sure everybody go follow him on X. Make sure you guys follow him. He does the best draft analysts out there. Go follow him, man. We thank you tremendously. We got to get you back on, man, after maybe the draft or something. Talk about all the goods and the bads.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time as well.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you. Ryan Roberts, go follow him. He does a hell of a job in the NFL draft breakdown scenarios, plus college football analytic guy as well. And he dabbles in some hoops. So we asked him all those things. So the legendary Super Bowl champ, Shaun King, is just around the corner. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay the bills, take a piss. Smitty going to move his car. And apparently, Smitty, your hair is all fucked up according to the chat. So maybe
I look amazing, actually. My skin tone look beautiful.
Maybe fix your hair or something. I don't know. We got Jerry Palm. Jerry Palm on the other side. Smitty knows all about Jerry Palm. He's got tons of questions ready for Jerry Palm. He's ready to go. And can't wait to ask Jerry Palm and actually just sit back and listen to Smitty question Jerry Palm on all the questions he has for him. And can't wait for that. And maybe we'll talk some hockey with Shaun King. Yeah, let's talk some hockey. I mean, we're getting close to playoffs, Smitty. We might as well. We'll be back in about 4 minutes on the other side. Peace.
Savannah's Bananas baseball team that does like the dancing, The Savannah Bananas baseball team that does all the dancing. Coach JB, just react to this, man, and kind of give you a take on why so many people watch this. They're one of the more popular, sports teams. Almost like the Harlem Globetrotters for baseball is how I would compare it. And very popular. People love them. They literally sell out crowds, make a lot of money. A lot of these guys actually played, I think, baseball at some point for real, like maybe in college or whatever. Now they kind of do this thing for fun. But what's your take? Why do you think so many people actually like them? Hey, baby. Good morning.
Go back to his name. Rewind. Go back. Rewind it. Right there. Pause it. Go back to his name, Bailey. Let me see his last name. Let me see that right there. That's why. Because he sucks cocks. Because he's a gay. This is gay. Suck cocks. That's why. He has the perfect last name. The fuck are we doing here, homie?
You a homophobe, homie.
The fuck are we doing? God damn. Oh, hell no. You fucking shitting me. You would not go see this fucking in real life. Stop the cat. Tell me right now, truth or lie. Would you go see this?
I don't watch baseball like that.
You wouldn't go see. Just keep it. Smitty's so good at this media shit. Like, you all talk that shit, and he always wants to fluff me. Fluff me. He's good at this, homie. He knows how to be so mainstream corporate. I can't wait to get him out of there. I gotta be honest. I can't wait to get him out and
I still ain't gonna be you. That's what makes our show great, though, in my opinion. If we were the exact same,
you'll be a little different. Like, you might have just been like, nah, JV, that's a little too gay for me. Like, you might have said that. You might say that one day.
You
like,
crazy, man.
Like how Smitty said, like, yeah, I don't like baseball like that. Like, he skipped over the mirrors and the cocks and all that shit. He skipped over all that shit.
I'm a bad boy, homie. I'm a bad boy, homie.
You know how to do it. Like, you know how to play the game.
The chat, like, they so micro, like, thinkers. They're so simple-minded that they don't even catch all the little shit I be doing.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no. I'm so good in advance in this space because I have the it factor again, because I don't have to watch Laker games. I know everything about the game last night.
Oh, yeah, my brother, OG, Mr. King. You told from the beginning. You said Duke was gonna be in the Final Four. They're gonna win it all. Well, we fast forward to today, and they are right where you thought they would be. How are you feeling right now?
I mean, we championship or bust. So our excitement comes, after we cut the Nets down in the final. I mean, outside of the fact we playing well-known teams, we hadn't even really, had a competitive game. Beat Arizona by margin, beat Alabama by 20. Like,
too easy.
Here's what, probably going. I'm gonna call the Houston game Duke 82, Houston 63.
Ooh, blowout again?
Yeah, I don't think they play defense, but I don't think they score well enough.
Jason has Houston winning the whole thing, so this is like really like some beef this week, like between you two.
Well, first of all, he's a hater.
Okay.
Yeah, so anything that he can say, tweet, text, anti-Duke, I mean, he takes advantage of it.
We're going at it hard this week. You guys, your fan base calls your best player Cooper Flag. So that's who your fan base is. They're
he sent me this picture yesterday, and I had to explain to him. That's what happens when you're an international brand. And you're just something that, regardless of race, creed, culture, religion, that people gravitate to.
Right.
See, Jason never been a part of anything like that. He's very regionalized in his likes. You got to be from this region or in this space. Like, he's never been a part of something global. So
yeah, that's a fact. Like, he
wouldn't understand that.
All his fans are like West Coast based, and that's it. Like, just Cali, Phoenix, Seattle. That's pretty much. He got a small pocket in Kansas because of the last chance shoot. Other than that, it's pretty much all West Coast. So yeah,
what y'all need? You need more analytics at Duke.
I mean, we look like we good 1 through 10. What you mean analytics?
I mean, goddamn.
He's being racist again because they're Asian and he's saying they're analytical guys. Let me ask you this real quick before we get into the rundown. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Is Cooper Flag going to be the next great American superstar like in the NBA?
Well, let's be honest. For an 18-year-old kid, and take Duke out of it, because a lot of people still in the 80s, they think Duke doesn't produce great NBA talent. And I have to remind them, Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving, Zion Williams. So I can go down the list. Like, it's a bunch of Duke guys that have had great NBA careers at this point.
Overrated though, right? You'd argue.
Not at all. Take the Duke out of it. Have we seen an 18-year-old kid? And what is flag? 6'10"?
Yeah,
9
6'9",
or 10.
6'10".
Have we seen a kid at 18 that has his complete skill set? Like, he does everything right now at an above average level except handle the basketball. Handle the basketball probably the only area where at times he look a little shaky, but he can shoot, he defends, he rebounds, he plays defense, he blocks shots, he passes the ball, he has a high basketball IQ. And you can tell he still hasn't really physically grown into his body. Like, you can tell at times his lower body strength in what it's going to be. Like, you could just see he got acne on his face. Like, wait till this kid get 21, 22, man.
Yeah, they said that about R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish, though.
But R.J. Barrett's a starting player in the National Basketball Association.
No, I get it. I'm just saying he's not like super.
And I'm not a Cam Reddish fan. That's one of the few guys that I don't like.
He was a superstar. They said Cam was going to be a next superstar.
Never forget Cam Reddish sat out on us because he got upset in the goddamn NCAA tournament.
Well, that's the generation. That's the generation.
Cam for that.
There are people already saying that Cooper Flagg is like the greatest freshman we've ever seen. I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's had a really good year, but we got to think about some other,
He got to finish it out. But
Carmelo Anthony at Syracuse, KD at Texas. There's been some guys now.
He got to finish it out. He got to win a championship, in my opinion.
Hey, Shaun, everything you said, everything you said, skill set. Go ahead.
Cooper Flagg has a more complete skill set at this age than Melo did. Melo was purely a scorer. As a freshman. That was
dog.
I don't agree. I don't agree at all. But here's the reason I don't agree. You're dismissing though the fact that what and who he's playing against and what the style of play is now versus the guys that I've talked to as greats. I don't think Cooper Flagg is having to face the resistance on defense. A, the rules that the game has allowed him to get away with. B, is clearly not the same that it was for Carmelo and these other great stars we saw as true freshmen. So I think you have to consider or weigh some of that. And I don't think, to your point, I actually like his handles a little more than most. I love that he can cross and go from his left to his right with his left hand, with his handles. I do know a little hoop. So I do actually like his handles more than most as for his size, when he's especially on top of the key in the middle by himself handling the ball. As a guy that's either going to be a scorer or a distributor, I like what he does with his handle, but I don't know, is the resistance there? Back in the day, there would have been a motherfucker in his mug, though, and wouldn't allow him to do that.
But in his defense, and first of all, when it comes to Duke players, just defer to me. I've watched every Duke game this year. Secondly, they've beaten Arizona and Alabama, so it's not like they've had a cakewalk. If they win it all, they're going to have beaten Arizona, Alabama, Houston, and a winner of Auburn, Florida. So whoever wins this tournament, this probably was the toughest run to a natty we've seen in a long time. Because you're gonna have to have beaten 2 of the 4 number ones to begin with, because they're all in the Final Four, and nobody's really had an easy stretch to get here.
I think it's the easiest stretch ever by anybody. But that's a whole nother game. We already know the mid-majors have been eliminated because of NIL in the portal. This is the most watered-down era of basketball I've ever watched in my life.
No, it's not. It's the strongest, most complete era at the top, because the big boys have reached down and grabbed all of the good mid-major players and put them on their teams. That's why Arkansas can go from shit to show in 1 year. That's why Michigan can change out their whole roster and end up with sweep, because they're going to get all the good mid-major players that you're talking about and just put them in big brand uniforms.
Shaun, Arkansas was a 10 seed. They beat 1 team. Stop. That was normal. That was normal. That was a normal weekend, homie. Come on.
Michigan didn't win 10 games last year.
That was a normal NCAA weekend.
Michigan Michigan didn't win 10 games last year. And I don't know how much
Tennessee wins one game and they're back? Come on.
I don't know how much college basketball you watch, but halfway through the year, Arkansas looked like pure ass. So from where they were
then, 0-5. That's my point. They started 0-5 in the SEC.
That's what I'm saying. So the turnaround they made to become a Sweet 16 team. Come on, man.
Hey JB, that's always the statement somebody makes when they feel like you don't really watch. They leave with I don't know how much college basketball you watch, or I don't know how much basketball.
And then I all I got it factor because Smitty and I have the it factor, and Shaun really dismisses that a lot on the show. He doesn't realize that we have the it factor. We watch hockey. Smitty and I know hockey, baseball, talk soccer. We can talk soccer. We talk all soccer all the time. Shaun be questioning the wrong folks on his show. But anyway,
first of all, shout out to the Maple Leafs getting a big time win, and obviously our Kings got a blowout, 8-1.
Hold on, Smitty. We can't just let JB just loose lips sink ships.
Whatever.
Right, that was on the wall of Ball State locker room. My coach had everywhere.
Like, you can't just let him say anything. Nobody's questioning, do you watch college basketball? It's how about how much college basketball you watch?
Yeah, I don't need to watch it.
But to my point, I do. So that way I know these storylines. I know the background. I know the chapter 1 part of this year's book for a lot of these teams.
Hey, Smitty, let me ask you something. Whose problem is it if you watch it and then I don't, and I know exactly the same amount? Is that a me problem or you problem?
It's called delusion. That's what it's called.
Smitty, I'm mad. I'm on the yacht, and I come back with exactly the same knowledge as him about the same shit, and then he say I don't watch it.
Hey, him and the homie Pedro out there jumping in the
Pedro is crazy. He called him Pedro.
Ruben, shout out Ruben. Hopefully you made it home last night. You were drunk when you left here.
Him and the homie Pedro out.
Pedro Martinez.
Hey, Shaun. Hey, Bailey, you got that what I sent you in the private chat about Alabama? I just want to transition, bro.
Bailey in the chat.
Yeah, but Smitty, you don't have it in the private chat. I put it in there. Grab that for me. Go up a little bit. Where is it at?
Right there. It should be right there, baby.
Did I put it in there?
I said it to you earlier in the chat, in the private chat.
Hey, shout out to Dre Day Solo too. Coach JB, Shaun King cooking you an extra sauce with ethnic seasoning. Like the people on here that follow these sports know. Like you said you want to talk hockey. I'm Puckstradamus, man. I'm locked in. I'm finna watch Ovechkin get this
all-time record.
Yeah,
he's like, look, 5 goals away now. See, where's he at?
He's 5.
He's five away now, man.
I think he's 5 to tie, 6 to break, if I'm not mistaken.
No one ever thought his record would ever get broken, Shaun.
And they got like 10, I think they got like 10, 11 games. I know Winnipeg got the best record. I know Golden Knights are super hot right now. Like, don't get me to crack a lacking when it comes to this hockey. That's why my name Puckstradamus. Call me Uncle Puckstradamus, baby.
I love it. Who you got tonight, though, man? We got Wild versus the Devils. We got the Predators.
Kings still winning, though. Kings still winning it. So it don't matter. Kings.
It looked good yesterday, though, 8-1. I know that, they play against the Sharks.
King, watch how good the Kings do in this playoff. Watch. You're going to eat your words, homie.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Shaun, let me ask you something. Piggybacking back to Alabama, the team that you guys cheated out of the win. Let me ask you. You had all Wufong Wongs and all them in your crowd. Let me ask you something real quick.
Racist.
This is the issue I have with college basketball and why I don't believe Cooper Freg is that good. And there's number one. The reason why, Alabama's coach is now crying and bitching. This is the same guy that disrespected Coach K at your Duke a couple years ago when he beat him at Alabama and thought he was the shit already. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy thinking he's the best thing since sliced bread? But anyway, this guy right here, I don't mind the egotistical shit. We all have it. But this guy right here rubs me the wrong way in a lot of ways. But anyway, pause. He is apparently headed to Maryland. Now, I don't know why you leave Alabama for Maryland, but he's saying that the money is going to football. Sounds like a you problem. Like, this is the lazy coaching that you and I discuss on this show in a lot of other ways that comes back to this. Like, you don't want to go get your own money. You don't want to go raise your own brand and legacy and create one. You rather bitch and moan why you don't have it and dip and bounce and jump ship? I'm confused. If this is true, I just don't see any good out of it for college basketball players, fans, coaches, or anyone else involved when we got guys leaving Maryland to go to Villanova right before they play the fucking game in the Sweet 16. We got a guy leaving McNeese, telling the whole staff and players, hey, we're headed to North Carolina State, win or lose. I don't see the good that can come out of it when I know damn well, Shaun, you and I know that if I am optimistic and I know Smitty, us three, no matter what we say on this show, have an out and someone else is taking us regardless, we're optimistic as shit. There's no way you can tell me I have both feet in on this show if I know the other show's taking us regardless. It's a 1 foot in, 1 foot out scenario that college basketball has created, in my opinion. Go ahead. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong, but I also don't think you're making a new argument. I do think both of these moves make sense, though, for different reasons. Kevin Willard is leaving Maryland to go to Villanova because Villanova's a basketball-only program that has won at elite level, right? Maryland is still trying to, get Mike Locksley and the football program to be competitive. So there's a lot of competition for NIL dollars at Maryland. He's going to Villanova where when Jay Wright was there, Jalen Brunson, DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, like Mikal Bridges, like they've proven that they can win at a high level. So that's why Willard's leaving Maryland. Nate Oates just wants to get out the SEC. Like, I think what he saw this year was no matter what Alabama, it's an easy reason so that the people in Tuscaloosa don't burn your house down. They say they're not diverting as much money to basketball as football. But I think more so than anything, he wants to get away from that conference because you can't outspend that conference. Like, if you look at the SEC, everybody's spending money now. It's not just the top two teams. It's 10, 11, 12 deep that are willing to go out and spend the money to be, elite from a talent standpoint. So he's going to go to the Big Ten, which is a little less competitive. And the programs in the Big Ten that are successful are still kind of old school in a lot of ways. Michigan State still developing players. Wisconsin still developing players. Like Michigan, Dusty may change over that whole roster, but for the most part, they may get one transfer, but it's not like being in the SEC. So I think Oates is trying to get to a softer landing spot in Maryland, and Kevin Willard is trying to get to a basketball first situation. That to me, that's how I read the tea leaves.
Yeah, Shaun, I don't know if Smitty got a question, but Shaun, I got to ask you about Izzo. Izzo came out and made a video. I saw it yesterday, but if we could find it, if not, no biggie. But Izzo basically said, fuck the portal. Why it's open right now blows my mind, but I'm not going to pay any credence to it. I'm going to focus on my kids right now, and if I miss out on a portal kid during a Final Four run, then I miss out. Now, obviously, since then, they've lost, but the truth of the matter is, like, he's correct. Like, why are we forcing coaches to worry about a portal when we have guys on our roster right now getting ready to play for a Final Four bid? And I don't understand it. Like, whoever thinks that's okay is just delusional. And if they don't think that's watering down this sport more and more and more, in my opinion, is crazy. Like, I don't understand why you would have it open, A. And then B, it goes to this. And I'm in defense of the whole spring game that Deion tried to set up with Fran Brown and Syracuse. And I think Texas Tech reached out to Deion and wanted to play them in the spring game and all these other teams. The NCAA's the reasoning was fucking student athletes will miss class. Like, when are we getting over this bullshit? Like, this is an absolute slap in the face. Like, come on, man. Like, we're traveling more than we've ever had. UCLA is they play Rutgers. Come on, man. You're telling me you're worried about students in class when everything 90% now is virtual anyway. This is just an absolute joke. Again, proving my point that the NCAA is the judge, the jury, and the executioner, yet they're unwilling to pay the kids. Still not paying the kids, by the way. It's all from outside collectives, and they're wiping their hands clean of anything wrongdoing, yet they're still the fucking judge, jury, and executioner. I blame it. I look at it the same way. They're using that excuse, John, for this portal to be open during the NCAA March Madness, which is still have a week to go. And there's 1,000 basketball players in the portal as of 6 a.m. this morning on the West Coast, 1,000. and we're not even done yet. It's the Final Four this weekend, Shaun. It's not over. Like, it's a joke.
Well, I think the NCAA is punch drunk. And I think what we've got to do, we've got to get them on Donald Trump's radar. So while he's got this big pair of scissors out, he's cutting all these budgets and trimming all this fat. Hey, somebody point him towards the NCAA. Because a lot of people over there making big money, and yet they don't seem to get anything right. They don't seem to think big picture.
You saying Elon needs to go and doge into that NCAA?
Absolutely. Right. We got to start cutting some of the fat over there. Because it's the only organization that never actually takes a comprehensive look at what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, how could you change NIL and transfer portal and don't look at the actual NCAA calendar for the sports? Like, because the same thing happened in football, right? Teams are getting prepared for the college football playoff, and all of a sudden the damn portal opens, and now you got kids on your current team that you got to make a decision on. Yeah. You know, and you're in the middle of playoff. Like, it's a lot of people at NCAA getting paid for no reason. And so, listen, President Trump, won't you, change your focus and look over there a little bit. I bet if you fire a couple of them clowns, they'll start doing a better job. But right now, nobody actually puts an address on who's making the wrong decisions. It's just NCAA.
The thing is, though, they're like
it's not this person specifically is in charge. He's the head. He's the guy that's responsible for it based on job responsibility. So when it goes wrong, it's him or her's fault.
Right.
Like, they just hiding under this big 4 letters.
Shaun, they're like BlackRock. They're like BlackRock, though. They're not part of the government, so they're never going to be audited, and that's the problem. They're not going to get audited because they're not part of the federal government, and they're going to be excused or kind of like lay under the radar like they have been. And they're the biggest white-collar criminals in the country. I've been saying that shit for 15 years. It's true to this day. Like, this is exactly what they are. They're white-collar criminals, non-caring assholes of America. And I'm glad the players have been getting paid. I'm getting paid. I just don't agree with how they get paid. But like when Ed O'Bannon, my good friend, started this whole thing up, it wasn't meant for this pay to play. It was meant for name, image, and likeness to give us our fucking money that we earned. Your school and your fan base bought how many millions of Manziel jerseys or Shaun? How many Tulane jerseys did you sell? Probably. I bet you'd like to know. You don't know. We don't know. Like, it's crazy. That's name, image, and likeness. Not this fucking pay to play where everyone thinks they deserve 5-star money when they're 2-star recruits, and then they all now need to get the bag because the homie got the bag. That's what we've created now. It's not name, image, and likeness.
And think about it hit personally for me because shout out to Coach Hunter too in Tulane men's basketball. They out here in Vegas. I went and took my sons and watched them practice yesterday. Think about the last 2 years for Coach Hunter. Duke swoops in and takes I think it's Deion James is how you pronounce it. Number 14. He was at Tulane, kid Tulane recruited. Kentucky at the end of this year, after we lost to Memphis by 1 point, swoops in and takes one of our starters. We got another starter in the transfer portal that's going to end up at a major Power 5. So that's 3 guys off of 2 teams that Coach Hunter and his staff, recruited, developed, that a big program just swoop in and snatches up. I bumped into Coach Kruger, here at UNLV. And yesterday, by the way, shout out to Coach Johnny Dawkins. I actually told him why I'm a Duke fan. So
you talking about Lon's son?
Yes.
We had Lon on. We had Lon on last week. The G. Yeah.
Yeah. I had the dad on my show when I was on VEASAN.
Wait, the son got fired for our guy now.
Yeah, for Josh. Yeah. We were just talking about college basketball in general, and it's even more difficult for them than it is football because of the scarcity of players they have. They only got 12 to 15 scholarship guys.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you got 2 potential pros, you having a hell of a recruiting,
yeah.
And then for somebody to come swoop in and take 2 of them.
No doubt. Man, we got a legend coming on right now, Shaun. So hopefully your questions are ready. A legend, CBS analytical genius, I like to call him, our main man, going to give us some insight on the Final Four and all things hoops. insight, plus some more. Our main man, Jerry Palm, joins the show.
Jerry
Can't think of enough.
Palm.
My main man. Jerry, how you doing, brother?
What's going on,
Appreciate
Jerry?
you joining us.
I'm all right. So how you guys?
Good, man.
We're
Good.
doing
Hanging in
amazing.
there.
We're doing amazing. Hey, let me kick it off real quick, Jerry. Jerry, I saw that you went to Purdue. You're not from Indiana, are you?
Yeah, I was actually born in Lafayette when my parents were in school. So I am about as born and bred a Boilermaker as you can be.
All right. Okay. So I'm from Indianapolis. I'm with the Ball State. Chirp.
Oh, okay.
So Indiana natives here. Glad to
Were
have
you from
here.
Were you from Indiana?
I am born and raised Indianapolis, Indiana. Warren Central High School, the Warriors.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know Warren.
Can I just say something right quick, JB?
Yep.
Purdue got hosed at the end of that Houston game. That was a blatant offensive foul by number 7. He extended the arm. He pushed off. These refs got to get it right. These kids work too hard to get in these situations, and they just blowing obvious calls. It ended up being a ball that went out of bounds, and Houston regained possession, but that was a blatant offensive foul at the end of the Purdue-Houston game.
Yeah, I thought the great inbound. Go ahead, Jerry.
I said that crew had a rough day.
Yeah, I thought it was a great call. Let me ask you. I got Houston, Jerry. I got Houston winning it all. I got Houston winning it all, Jerry. So Shaun King played football. Obviously, won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Smitty played at Ball State, and then hasn't become anything since. And then I'm just a shit talker.
I played in a band. Does that count for anything?
Yes, it does. I was in a band in middle school, percussion. I did the xylophone, the bass drum, the snare. Come on now.
Hey, Jerry, I got to ask you, 4-1 seeds. I guess I say big fish eat little fish. Obviously, I'm coming over from football, the NIL and the portal era. We've had some legends on the last few weeks, from Bobby Crimmins to Lon Kruger and all these different basketball coaches who have come on and just said, "Man, in other words, I'm glad I'm not coaching it right now." Has the mid-major been eliminated? Do you even see anything that can be fixed here as this goes on? I know this is the first time since 2008 we've got 4 1s in this deal. But that's not as alarming as I can see just the future becoming more and more watered down as this money gets bigger at the bigger resourceful institutions. The mid-major those are the stories of March Madness that we kind of didn't have this year for the first time in a while. Are we in trouble or you like it?
No, I don't necessarily like it. I like when we get someone outside these bigger conferences making a run. 1 year's not a trend. But the way the money's flowing these days, it seems like it's going to be difficult to stem this tide. And I just think that's unfortunate. The VCU run from first 4 to Final 4. I don't know if we're going to have opportunities for teams like that to make those kinds of runs anymore. Yeah, we had Butler, with Gordon Hayward in Indianapolis, one shot from winning a title. I mean, it was just. Those are the stories that people remember about March Madness, and unless, of course, your team's involved. But otherwise, I think for the casual fans, those are the stories that people love. And, we didn't get that this year. I'm not going to completely write it off, but I think it's going to be more of a lightning in a bottle kind of thing. And, the hard thing for these programs now is if you have a good year, other schools, bigger schools are going to come in and take all your best players. And, you can't do anything to stop it because you don't have the money to stop it.
I was going to say, I think the difference is, and I agree wholeheartedly, you only get one shot now, JB. Like if you're FAU and you got that group, you got one shot to win it all because those guys are going to go and leave. And it's crazy. I don't know if a lot of people know this. Johnny Broome, the kid from Auburn?
Yeah.
He went to Morehead State out of high school. Clayton Jr., the kid at Florida, he went to Iona out of high school. The mid-major's doing a great job recruiting high school, but how do they fix the big programs just being able to snipe year in and year out, these kids that they overlook coming out of high school?
Well, I don't know that you do fix it, but you don't fix it unless you're motivated to fix it, and the people with the money are not motivated to fix it. So I don't see a solution coming anytime soon. It's likely to get worse before it gets better, if it ever gets better.
Let me ask you,
Sorry
Jerry,
for the bad news there.
Nah, you're just being honest, being real.
Yeah. Let me ask you something real quick, Jerry. This whole portal thing for football and basketball has become kind of a joke. A good friend of mine, Frank Martin, is the head coach of UMass in hoops, and he was a 20-win team last year. He gets plucked. 4 of his guys are we're in the Sweet 16 playing on other teams this year. And he's talking about this. And then in football, obviously my world, and you know it as well, like where are we at with this portal opening, and the excuse for students missing class is starting to become a backhanded slap in the face, because we already are having UCLA travel to play damn Rutgers every year. Like, come on now, stop it. So there's 1,000 guys in the portal today. I think as of 6 a.m., there's 1,000 basketball players in the portal, and the tournament's not even over.
Yeah, well, although they aren't leaving teams that are actively playing still, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's, I guess the portal opening in the middle of the tournament seems a bit weird. I'm not going to worry about it till people leave teams that are actively playing. But if they, once their team is over, like Purdue had 2 guys go in the portal within a couple days after their loss to Houston. That's just the nature of the business, I guess. I'm in favor of players having an opportunity to do what's best for them. And for so long, the college athletic system was designed to do what was best for the schools and only the schools. And now at least players have an opportunity to do what's best for them. And so I'm in favor of that, even if it is kind of messy how it happens.
Right.
No doubt. No
That.
doubt.
I want to transition a little bit, because I know you also cover, college football as well. And obviously we have the, NFL draft coming up here. We talked about this a little bit earlier today about, kind of these top 5, top 10 picks as far as who we think will drop, what do we think will happen, kind of biggest sleepers, things like that. But let me focus in on specifically with the number 2 and number 3 pick at the Browns and the Giants here. There's a lot of talk around who these 2 teams will pick. We're hearing is it Abdul Carter? Is it Travis Hunter? Is it does Shador get picked high at number 2 or 3, or does he drop? How do you feel, I guess, and when you look at specifically number 2, the Browns, number 3, the Giants, I guess what's your initial thoughts around who those 2 teams will probably pick?
Well, I mean, if I'm a GM, and I follow the NFL more as a fan than in high detail for this sort of a thing. But if I'm a GM, the first guy I'm taking is Travis Hunter. So if Travis Hunter's available at 2 or 3, you should definitely take Travis Hunter. I mean, that guy's a unicorn. It's you can play him at 2 positions. He'll probably want to play both positions. I don't know if the NFL will want to put that kind of wear and tear on him. I guess you play him at 1 and maybe spot him at the other if you want to do something like that. Shadur Sanders will be a great player. I really like Abdul Carter. If you have a defensive line need, that's your guy. So, but these top 3 teams, they have needs everywhere. That's why they are where they are. So if you're going best player available, I would go Travis Hunter, then I'd go Abdul Carter.
Hey, Jerry, let me say something that I just think people don't comprehend when it comes to the draft. I'm going to use 2021 as an example. Jets have the 2nd pick. Niners trade up to the 3rd. Jets take Zach Wilson. Niners take Trey Lance. Guess who they bypass, JB? Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain II, and Micah Parsons. So I'm screaming to these fan bases, just because you have a need at quarterback, you have to evaluate, if I'm reaching at quarterback, what am I bypassing?
Right. Yeah, well, and those guys were very highly thought of going into the draft, and neither one of them has really panned out, of course. But that's almost the nature of quarterbacking. One of the things that this is just me, and I'm probably an idiot for even thinking this way, but if I'm going to build a team that's just, lousy at almost every position, I'm starting on the offensive line. I'm going to get offensive linemen, and then I'm going to go get a quarterback, so that I'm not getting a quarterback first and getting him killed before he has any chance to develop. So if I'm building a team, I'm going to start with the offensive line, because I don't want to put a quarterback behind a bunch of players that are just not good enough to protect them.
Yeah. And Jerry, I got to ask you, like in the Giants world, Brian Daboll is probably a lame duck coach right now, and that's probably why he got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston on 1 year and a 2-year deal to avoid the rookie QB class that I'm not very high on myself. But Is there a reason why? Do you think that's the reason? And not having the Joe Alt or big time O lineman in this draft early, he has to get best need and available. And is that a Travis Hunter or an Abdul Carter? Now that you got two veteran QBs.
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, obviously, this year is not their future, right? Yeah. So you're going to get a really good player where they are. I would definitely get, one of the. If you can get Travis Hunter where they are, I mean, that'd be great. But Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, those would be my two favorite guys. Unless you really feel like you have to have a quarterback.
Are we sure that they're on the hot seat, JB? I mean, what else can you do besides paying Daniel Jones an extension, then cutting him and letting Saquon Barkley go to your division rival, and he helps them win a Super Bowl, and they kept their job. Now they're on the hot seat after all those blunders.
Okay. If they weren't on the hot seat before or immediately after, then maybe there is no hot seat.
I'm with you. Jerry, I got to ask you, transition back to your wheelhouse here real quick. This Final Four deal, do you have anybody other than Duke winning it?
I actually picked Florida at the beginning, so I'm going to stick with them. Duke has been probably the best team in the tournament so far. Florida looked like the best team going into the tournament. Duke has been pretty dominant. All four of these teams are capable of winning. All four of them are. If you want to say Duke's the favorite, I'm not really going to argue against you. I'm going to stick with the pick I had at the beginning, and that's Florida.
And I'm going to stick with Houston beating Duke. Shaun King's favorite team here in this tournament. He thinks that Duke's the best, hands down. He thinks they'll roll through Houston. I think Houston is going to give Duke a problem that they haven't seen, which is
what?
Lock up, Shaun. Lock up defense. I choked because I want to make sure Shaun hears me correctly. We're going to lock Duke up full court the whole game. They haven't faced that yet. So, Shaun, get ready to lose.
So here's my unbiased evaluation of this game. Houston is elite defensively, but here's the thing about Duke that a lot of the untrained eye doesn't recognize. Duke's elite defensively. Like, this is the best defensive team Duke's had in a long time, and we're deep. The problem I think Houston's going to run into is Duke's got NBA caliber players offensively. So we should still be able to play a game that gets into the 70s. I just don't know that Houston's capable of that.
Jerry?
Yeah, it's funny because Houston is obviously elite defensive team. And, that's their rep, and they've earned it again this year. But they are a much better offensive team than they have been in the past. And you've got an All-American and L.J. Cryer who can help carry a load for them offensively. So I think it's a really interesting matchup. But if Houston is allowed to be physical with Duke, then they've got a chance. It's funny, you watch Duke play, and they've got a play where somebody drives down the lane and they throw a little alley-oop over the basket to Malawatch, and they run that like 6 times a game and nobody can stop it. So, and I don't know that anybody in this tournament can stop it either. Maybe Zach Edey could have done it last year, but he's gone. So, and Purdue's gone too. So it's that's a team that's got some weapons that I don't know how everybody else is going to match. But,
Jerry,
we'll see.
It sounds like the dark horse here, because I got Florida with the best backcourt in basketball. You saw their guard go off the other night and dominate as a 1-2 punch. Guard play usually wins tournaments. I don't know now in this NIL era if that's truly going to be the case again, as we got 4 1 seeds. Seems like the dark horse here is Auburn. No one's talking about Bruce Pearl's Auburn team. I know you just said any one of these teams can win it. How serious are they coming out of that SEC with Florida being the best conference all year long? Are they battle tested though with Florida? And it's unfortunate. I wish those two could have played in a possible final. They have to go at each other early here in this last 4. But do you see that SEC being so dominant that helps them get over the?
Like that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Auburn was the best team in the country up until about 2 weeks before the season ended, and they lost 3 out of 4, and they may have taken their foot off the gas a little bit because they were already pretty much a lock as the number 1 overall seed. But it's hard to put your foot back on the gas. But my concern for Auburn is Janai Broome healthy? Because he got hurt in the last game, went back in, but if he's limited in any way, it's going to be really hard for Auburn to do anything in this Final Four without a healthy, ready-to-go Janai Broome.
What would you say if I said Walter Clayton Jr. is the best player left in the NCAA tournament? Not projecting for the draft, but just as we sit right here in March, almost April of 2025.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you too much. I mean, the other candidate would be Flagg, Broome, LJ Cryer. Everybody's got an All-American, so those guys are all really good. You want to make a case for Walter Clayton? I think there's a case for Walter Clayton. I think there's a case for, I don't know so much Cryer, but the other three guys. Yeah, I think, those guys are all outstanding players, have had tremendous seasons, and you can make a case for any of them as the best team in the tournament. And whichever team wins, one of those guys is probably going to be the MVP.
If Duke goes on to win this whole thing, Jerry, will Cooper Flagg go down as having the greatest freshman season in college basketball history that we've ever seen?
Ooh, that's a good question, because a lot of these guys that could have had great freshman seasons didn't get to play freshman seasons. Yeah, it certainly would be. I hadn't really thought it through thoroughly, but it certainly is going to be on the short list of the best freshman seasons ever. Anything that ends in a title is going to be, a great season. And if you were a great player as a freshman on one of those teams, then yeah, it's going to be hard to come up with a better one that's clearly better.
Now, Jerry, they haven't announced the Naismith Player of the Year yet, right?
No, they just announced the finalists today.
And who was it?
I think Broome, Flagg, Braden Smith was on the list. Just drawing a blank on the fourth off the top of my head. But here's what's at stake, JB. Flagg has already been named ACC Newcomer of the Year. He's already been named ACC Player of the Year. I would presume he's going to win Naismith Player of the Year. If he followed that up with a Natty and NCAA Tournament MVP, I don't know that a freshman's ever done that. Woo. Yeah, I don't either. I can't think of one.
Yeah. I mean, the era is soft though, Shaun. Hey, Jerry, as you're leaving, I appreciate you. We can't thank you enough. Let me ask you, I just got one question for you.
Last one.
The Mavericks or the Lakers? Who won the trade?
Woo!
I guess I don't know. I guess the Lakers. I gotta be honest. I don't follow the NBA that closely because college basketball overlaps so much.
Yeah.
So I'm a casual NBA fan at best. But I feel like Dallas kind of got fleeced.
It's all good. JB doesn't watch NBA either, so you're fine.
Hey, I got one more question. I was watching the Purdue-Houston game with an avid Purdue fan. He went to Purdue. I asked him a question. I was very interested in the answer he gave me. Who's the greatest college basketball player in Purdue history, in your opinion?
Purdue history.
Well, it's hard to argue against Glenn Robinson, but Zach Edey's a two-time National Player of the Year. So I actually wrote about this during last year's tournament, the 5 best Purdue players of all time. You would not guess the other 3, but I had Zach ahead of Glenn because Zach played longer and ended up Purdue's all-time leading scorer, breaking what was a 60-year-old record, which was set, when freshmen couldn't play and there was no three-point line. So I went with Zach over Glenn, mostly because of the breadth of his career. But Glenn is the most recent player to average 30 and 10 in Division I basketball. 1994. Nobody's done it since.
Hey, Jerry, I couldn't be more ashamed of Shaun King on this show right now and yourself, Purdue greatness, and not mention John Wooden. Oh,
John was third on my list.
Oh, my gosh, Shaun King, you should be ashamed of
yourself. John Wooden led Purdue to their only national title in 1932. It was a voted-on title because
I was going to say, dude, I don't know if my parents were born when John Wooden was playing. Like, God,
mine weren't.
I don't think he was playing on that team. I don't think he was playing.
Hey, Jerry. And then he goes on and wins 11 as a coach. Come on, man. That's Purdue.
That's separate. That's not Purdue.
We haven't talked about Rick Mount yet either.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we had the scoring record that Edey broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Robinson guy. I was a Glenn Robinson guy. I used to watch him. So
he's fabulous.
I was a big dog guy.
I was a big dog
His
guy.
kid's on the team now.
Brother.
He's got a kid on the team now.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Glenn
Jakari
Robinson.
Harris.
Yeah, okay, nice. Jerry, man, I can't thank you enough for taking time out to join us and talk this. Hopefully your team works out and you can Florida get you some few dollars if you can do that. Shaun King dabbles in that space, so do I. But I got Houston, so we'll see. And shout out to Purdue and the Boilermakers and Indiana. And
Indiana, baby, yeah.
Lafayette used to recruit it quite often, so I know it well. So appreciate you, Jerry, for joining us, man. Appreciate everything you do.
Well, thanks for having me on. Good talking to you guys.
Appreciate you. Jerry Palm, man,
Jerry
CBS.
Palm, man.
I like Jerry, man. Jerry cool. I like Jerry.
Yeah, he said they got fleeced.
Yeah.
But hold on. I didn't want to interject there because he already said he don't watch a whole lot of NBA basketball. I could tell because of the adjective that he used to describe what happened, fleeced. You can't give a definitive evaluation of who won and who lost until the playoffs are over.
Right. The Mavericks are actually undefeated with AD so far, if you guys didn't know that.
Right. If the Lakers get knocked out in round 1 versus Golden State and Dallas goes on a run, I mean, you cannot. I mean, right. I'll tell you this. Luka's starting to look more like the old Luka every game, starting to argue with the ref Smo, starting to play less and less defense.
Yeah.
You know, that honeymoon don't wear off.
Yeah, once he got comfortable, I said it. Once he gets comfortable, it's over.
My only pushback, though, when you guys say the old Luka just took the Mavs to the finals last year. So if that's what the old Luka's going to be, the Lakers will appreciate that.
The offensive skill set is unquestioned. It's unquestioned what he does on offense. Yeah. Nobody's questioning that. But
remember, he had rim protection. He had rim protection last year, though. Let's be clear. He had rim protection behind him when he gets blown by, and Kyrie, who's a big shot maker. I'm just saying. I don't know if the Lakers have.
It's not the same. I'm just saying we'll see. Like to Sean's point, we'll see. I'm saying act like he wasn't just in the finals last year with the same.
I agree. I hear you.
But that's all I'm saying.
I just don't think they have the rim protection in the West as they did last year, and I don't know if there's a Laker that has the big shot capabilities of a Kyrie Irving. They don't.
JB, 3 of their starting 5 played absolutely no defense whatsoever.
But remember, though, I just want to be the one. I just want to be on record, though, that Smitty and I came out and we tweeted, and then we came on this show and we were like, this makes 0 sense for the Lakers. And everybody's been bashing me since. And then they go on this run and everyone's like, you gonna eat your word, eat crow, JB, blah, 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 blah. Now all of a sudden the Lakers are the fucking Lakers like I said they would be after this whole honeymoon has set in. And they look back to horrific on defense. They've been up 30, 28, 18, 16 in the second half or in the fourth quarter and have lost in the last 2 weeks, Shaun. They gave up. They were up fucking 22 to Memphis and they had to win at the end 2 nights ago. It gave up that 18-point lead in the fourth quarter. Their defense is horrific. Luka's horrible on defense. He's lazy as shit. He's crybaby. Everything I said. So that's what I'm standing on.
I say this, though, the Lakers are ranked 7. If you look at the advanced metrics as total like team defense, so they're actually top 10 in defense. So I mean, I know what we were looking at feels different, but I think it's just because we're in an era now where there's not a lot of defense. Period. Right. So like,
but there are teams that can defend. Right. See, that's the difference because when you get in the playoffs, especially the second half of Game 5 and on in these series.
Yeah,
teams actually that can play defense are actually playing defense. Like the Lakers' problem is Luka, Bron at this point in his career, and Austin Reeves, who just can't. Got 3 guys out there who can't stay in front of nobody.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, let's transition to football real quick before we get out of here. We got about 5-6 minutes. I want to dive into some NFL draft talk with you, Shaun, real quick. I mean, we're getting closer and closer. I just got to ask you. Before the season starts, we're talking.
That's funny, Shaun. I know what you're looking at. Not that funny. Stop reading the chat. Go to the. Stop reading the chat. Lock in.
They called it Darnell Kynes. They said when you look at the Vegas metrics.
Not that funny. Not that funny. Not that funny. Ain't that funny. Jack, we're not really even laughing for real. He just smiling because you're laughing so hard, it's making him smile, but he don't think it's
my bad, JB.
What laughing at all? Harris,
My
cut
bad.
that and put it on Twitter. Hey, so real quick, I got Darnell, what's wrong with your face?
I'm good. I'm waiting for the next topic.
Hey, Darnell. I mean, Shaun. Let me dive into something real quick. The rules are out, Shaun. The NFL coaches are in this rule committee meetings and all this shit, and apparently the Packers obviously are the team that's thrown it out there the most. Now we got the Bills jumping on board. Other guys, Sean McDermott and everyone else is saying to eliminate this tush push. Another rule that's being thrown out there is an 18-game regular season. Where are you at with this? These rules being thrown out there right now?
All bogus. I didn't mean to throw you off topic. I know you said you had some draft questions. My bad. Shit was funny.
Nah, we're gonna get into the draft, but this is first because this
First
is
of
the
all,
rules.
hey, listen, stop complaining about the tush push. Figure it out, find out how to stop it, or either become an expert in it yourselves. I mean, it's a tool. People use it, so be it, so on. They're not the players' union is not allowing an 18th game. I think they've drawn their feet a lot. They've drawn their line in the sand. Their feet are firmly planted. They're not going over 17. To answer your question. Hey, Smitty, man, you know you my guy. You know me and you like that, dog. I hate for it to be for that Darnell comment.
It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny, bro. It's all good. It wasn't that funny.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
JB didn't laugh at all. He just had like a little smile. I said,
"Well, I saw it late because I don't pay D Jones any mind usually because usually everything he says is woke." Hey, Darnell. Let me ask you.
You were gonna talk about the draft, JB. My bad.
No, you're good.
I don't talk about draft no more. We talk draft all day. I don't talk about draft at all. We talk about the draft so many times. So you think gonna pick Cleveland Browns? Who the Giants gonna draft? I don't care about nothing about the draft no more. We don't know.
Hey,
We'll find out 2 weeks.
Shaun, I'm gonna ask you real quick though. Since the quarterbacks are so dookie in this draft, let me ask you real quick: is Genty gonna be scooped up before you thought he would? Is the best I can word that.
No, I think he's going to go 6 to the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah. And here's why. Pete Carroll saw the impact that Marshawn Lynch had on his Seahawks teams. Like just having that guy, you don't got to block everything perfect. He a workhorse guy. We can control time of possession. You know, we can get tough yards, you know, after contact. And I think they view Ashton Genty in that same light. So I think the conversation going on inside the building is, if you could draft Marshawn Lynch at 6 in this year's draft, would you do it? Take out the position value and all of that stuff. When you look at the impact Saquon had for Philly, Derrick Henry had for Baltimore, like running backs have kind of like reestablished themselves, and the Raiders don't really have enough elite talent offensively to help Geno Smith. I could see them going Ashton Genty at 6. But I did want to make light of something again, and I hope, I think it resonated with Smitty, just a different perspective and lens for fans to look at the draft. And I used the 21 draft as an example. The Jets took Zach Wilson, who only had 1 year of elite production at BYU, and it happened during the COVID season when BYU played at the time, Power 5 opponents. The Niners traded up to draft Trey Lance, who had major question marks.
Yeah.
But what did they pass up? They passed up Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain II, who just was NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and Micah Parsons. One of the best packs. So, like, when you're looking at what will Cleveland do at 2, what will the Giants do at 3, you got to look at Abdul Carter through the prism that he might be Micah Parsons. You got to look at Travis Hunter through the prism that he might be Patrick Surtain and Jamar Chase, all rolled up in one. You got to look at Josh Simmons and Andre Membo and those guys who got really elite tape. They might be Penei Sewell. So, do you reach at quarterback to bypass what is a transcendent talent, in my opinion? So that's just a different perspective for like Cleveland and New York and their fan bases to look at how I evaluate come draft time.
Hey, real quick before we leave, your take on Frank Reich being the replacement for Troy Taylor. Andrew Luck has hired, if you didn't hear the news earlier today, Bailey broke with us. Frank Reich is going to basically be an interim for a 1-year bridge gap, which is interesting. Spring ball right now in college football. Your take on this guy?
It doesn't matter. Stanford's a terrible job in 2025 in the sport of college football. It's a terrible job. They're in a conference now in the Big Ten. I mean, they're in the ACC, right? They're in a conference now in the ACC where
with Cal, yeah,
they can't compete nationally because the majority of kids that are transferring can't academically transfer to Stanford.
Right, and especially
it's hard enough to get into Stanford out of high school. It's damn near impossible to transfer from another college to Stanford because a lot of those credits aren't going to transfer.
Right. And you can't even get JUCO kids, really.
Right. So you playing, with a deck that's shit. They got 52 cards over there. You playing with 11 cards. Like your deck.
Here's the issue I have, and Smitty might disagree, but the problem I have is it's a slap in the face to the kids at Stanford. And since the portal is allowing players to leave in basketball during the tournament and football during the college playoff, why is everybody not leaving Stanford? Because if I was told that he's an interim coach for 1 year, like, what the fuck is he going to do for my program and those players that are on that roster right now? How are we going to get better? And I know this guy's leaving. That's my point, though, Smitty. It's for him, though. That's my point. Like, what player is going to sit here at Stanford and say, well, Frank Reich's going to go out, bust his ass, recruit players for our program. He's going to help us win. And then in a year, he's gone.
Players don't care anymore. They going wherever the bag is at.
I don't know that that's applicable to Stanford.
Yeah, I read Smitty wrong. I'm talking about money for Frank Reich and the coach on this side.
Okay, I was talking about the players.
The player. I don't know if players are getting poached out of Stanford though.
Yeah, like for all the NFL guys that on the top of the top, Stanford has put in your Christian McCaffreys, the offensive lineman, your Andrew Lucks. The majority of student athletes at Stanford are actually there because of the academics and the relationships that you build going to and graduating from Stanford. So,
yeah, and that's no longer a thing. So the degrees don't matter anymore because you're at 4 or 5 schools anyway. So I get it. Shout out to UCLA Bruins. I know they beat my girl, Coach Yo, at Ole Miss, but they're in the Final Four. Shout out to you, UCLA, for finally getting over the hump, bebeating LSU. Hey, they've lost
first Final Four, I believe, for the women. So shout out to them.
They've lost to LSU three tournaments in a row. So I'm shout out to UCLA.
Yeah, we got SC, man, and UConn. I'm so upset that Juju was hurt because we would have got a chance to see Juju play against Paige Beckers, arguably the two best players in the game on the women's side. But
hey, you guys watch women's sports. You guys watch women's sports. You guys want women's sports to be great again. Does USC have any shot against UConn without Juju?
None.
Nah. Paige just dropped 40.
Paige is back.
It had like 11 in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. Like, so she went crazy. She outscored the opponent in the second half.
Hey, JB, it's eerie how similar Paige and Juju's careers look to be progressing. Because Paige was Juju, and then she tore her ACL, and she came back. I think she tore it again. Didn't she tear it twice? If I'm not mistaken. I think she tore it twice, if I'm not mistaken. But now she's back healthy.
Yeah,
40 crazy in college.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's like a 60 ball down there. Like.
Smitty just proved his reverse racism on this show. I'm the hater when I say Juju's the best and she's black and I'm white, and then Smitty says no, Caitlin Clark is, and then I'm the racist. So go figure.
I'm not going to put.
By the way, you see
Clark already in her college career. Not yet. I mean, come on, homie. That's not. It ain't right.
UCLA might have
the white girl forgot UConn. Ain't she like 30?
Who?
The
white girl. The white girl UConn.
There's a lot of white girls UConn. You talking about Paige Beckers?
Paige.
The good one.
A lot of them are good, but Paige Beckers not no 30 no.
Yeah, she's on one name basis too. That's how elite she is.
Paige, homie.
She old though. She old as
no,
fuck.
she's not.
No, she's not. She ain't transferred, did all that.
She's got like 2 knee surgeries. She had a job.
She only been in
full-time
UConn.
job.
I guarantee she's not older than 22.
Yeah, I guarantee she ain't either.
It seems like she's been around forever. I don't know
She's
how
been
old.
hooping for so long. That's the point.
Bailey,
Crazy.
how old is she? Bailey, how old is she?
23. She's 23.
23. Yeah, I knew it. She older than Bo Nix.
Yeah, but she missed the year from injury, so that makes like.
See, I'm telling you, Smitty. I think she tore the ACL twice.
Yeah, she older than fucking Bo Nix, but she's still. You comparing her to Juju, who's 18, 19?
No, I'm just saying, like Paige was Juju fresh out of high school,
I hear you.
super freshman. Then she got hurt. Yeah.
Juju, shout out Juju.
Shout out to Juju. Get well, little mama.
Yeah, I'm the hater.
So she tore her ACL on one occasion, and she had a meniscus tear on another. So you're right. She had 2 major injuries.
Nice. I said she old as dirt. Old as
Yeah,
dirt.
but she had 2 injuries though, so it's not. It's different. It's not like she's transferred around and just like she got injured. That happened to all of us before.
Hey, Mr. Kimes, don't let JB pull you into that cesspool.
Yeah, but JB just a negative dude. He was mad that Coach Prime got paid earlier, but it's not so Shaun. Yeah, he was. Hey, he's mad. He said he didn't. He's worked it. He didn't earn it.
Dude, hold up, dude.
Shaun, hold on, dude. Don't let this guy gas you up.
But it's really good shows. 906.
Don't let him lie to you, Shaun.
I didn't lie to you. He said he's worked it, but he didn't earn it. That's what he said. So he was all upset about it.
How's that hating, Shaun? How's that hating?
About it.
Shaun, how's that hating? If I said he's worth it for what he's done for the Colorado fan base, the money he's brought into that program, everything that he's done, how is it not? How is that hating? If I said he is worth that money,
finish the sentence. Don't just stop right there.
He is not. But he has not earned that money.
I mean, it sounds like you trying to like.
Nah, don't try to.
It sounds like you trying to like throw shade.
Shaun, what I said is, I said that I haven't heard anything about Smitty coming on praising Kenny Dillingham, Kalani. I haven't heard any of the motherfuckers that actually went to the playoffs, actually beat and won a ball game.
He makes it about race.
Yeah, because
I didn't mention race.
Because Smitty racist, Shaun. Smitty racist, Shaun. He come on here being just it's all about the brother coach getting the money. I ain't heard nothing about the white boy coach. I ain't heard nothing about the white boy coach. I ain't heard nothing about Willie Fritz.
He don't put Kenny Dillingham on the rundown. He don't put the white coach. He don't want to talk about them. He wants to talk about Deion. So I'm going to talk about
Smitty's a race baiter. Smitty's a race baiter, Shaun, on the realest show.
Tomorrow morning, I want the first time to be about Kenny Dillingham. I want the first hour. Nothing.
So let me be clear, JB. You don't think what Deion has done for the Colorado brand solidifies him earning this extension?
He's worth it. Everything you just said, it means he's worth the money. Let's be clear.
So you don't consider that a part of earning it? Because Colorado football is a household name solely because of Deion Sanders.
That's why he's worth it.
And it's not just ticket sales; it's also substance.
That's why he's worth it. Hey, Shaun, you're an analytical guy. You're a mean and kind type of guy.
That's a compliment or a critique. Like
you're a mean and kind type of guy. Let me ask you something.
Now he want to put us both on.
Name me a big. Give me Deion's biggest win. Go. I'm waiting.
Biggest win.
Yeah.
Was there a team in the Big 12 this year that would have been considered a big win? Don't tell me that Arizona State during the regular season was a big win.
No. You're proving his point. What he's trying to say is he's saying Deion doesn't have a big win since he's been there, which is his reason why he says he hasn't earned it.
Right, but Kenny Dillingham played in the same conference. Because Sataki in the same conference.
But I'm the racist.
Come on, man.
Wait, one's in the playoff. What are we talking about here? Thank you for proving my point.
No, but what was his big win? He didn't. What was his big win?
Who's?
Dillingham.
He's in the playoff.
But did they win?
You don't respect the playoffs, homie.
Wait.
Playoffs, homie.
Arizona State won a playoff game.
Prove my point.
But who they beat?
Prove my point, Shaun.
They beat a playoff opponent.
No, hell no. You're not going to tell me.
God. Oh, my God.
Shaun. Thank you, Shaun. I love you, Shaun.
You're going to give me the say now. Now you're going to give me a say.
He likes Dillingham, so he's going to defend that. He likes it.
Now you're going to have me say. So hold on. Now the college football playoff don't matter when y'all said that 12 teams was the best thing ever?
No, you sat here and said that the college football playoff was watered down and it is only 4 teams.
Yeah.
So if you didn't beat one of them 4 teams, you ain't got a big win based on the words of Jason Brown.
Hold on, though. They were in the playoffs, weren't they?
Now, you said the playoff was bogus, though.
Don't matter. One team's in it, one team's not. Your team got blown out by Kalani Sitake in the same fucking conference.
First of all, Colorado's not my team. Colorado's not my team. I'm simply giving facts about Deion Sanders earned that contract.
It's not facts. Deion is worth the money. He hasn't earned shit. He got blown out in 2 bowl games at Jackson State. Hasn't won
They didn't get blown out. They didn't get blown out.
Well, he hasn't won. He hasn't won.
They lost 5-second games in both of them.
What top 10 team has he beat?
Get the facts right.
What top 10 team has he beat?
What top 10 team have they played while he's been at Colorado?
A lot.
You can't beat what you don't play. The Big 12 is down right now. They don't got top 10 programs.
See, it's always an excuse. It's always an excuse for
No,
Deion.
it's the reality.
That's the crazy part
facts.
about it. No, it's not. The facts is it's always an excuse for him, and I'm the hater when we go back and break down the facts that he hasn't beat anybody.
You low-key shade. You low-key. We're going to call you shade.
Smitty brought up TCU, homie. Their unranked TCU team was their biggest win.
Hey, Smitty, you know how they got Salt Poppy? He the Shade Poppy. That's what we're going to call him. Shade Poppy. He like to sprinkle shade.
But you know what's crazy? You know the thing that's not being talked about? I never said anything about hating on him. I said he's worth the money. But you
got to stick to the facts.
He got it. I said he earned it.
Top 10 teams.
But he said he earned the money. I said he didn't earn it. I said he's worth it, which means he's deserving of it. Smitty said he's earned it. There's a huge fucking difference between earning it and deserving it. Let's keep it funky. He ain't earned it. He hasn't done shit as a coach. He has done nothing other than help Colorado become the brand they are. And
which is a part of the coaching responsibility.
Says Coach Prime is the name of that university.
Which is a part of the head coach's responsibility is to grow the brand, help raise money.
And that's why he's worth the money. I don't understand why I'm hating if he's worth the money. I still said he's worth the money.
I didn't say you were hating. I said you're the shade poppy. You're throwing shade.
I'm just saying he's still worth the money. I still say he's worth the money.
Let me ask you this, JB. If somebody came to you.
I don't know how Smitty moves that to me. I'm pocket checking. I'm blah, blah, blah. If I said he's worth the money, how is it pocket checking? I said he's worth the money.
Oh,
I didn't say that.
Keep it right
but
there.
you threw shade, though.
JB, stop. JB,
stop. You threw shade.
If
you got piss. Bailey, you guys in the
you got paid something. I came up to you. I said, JB, I said, hey, bro, congratulations, man. You worked the money. You didn't earn it, though, but you worked it. How you going to take that? You ain't going to be like, happy about that. It's a diss. But it's all
like
good,
I feel like JB got a picture of Mina Kimes like in his bathroom that he prays to every morning. And like he probably got a statue of Deion Sanders somewhere that we don't know about. Like Shade Poppy be tripping.
100%, man. But Shaun, thank you so much.
I see you Wednesday, brother.
You have a good one. We gonna see you later on this week. And thank you, chat, y'all, for tuning in. Another episode, Coach JB Show.
Hey, hold on before we leave. I'm on Bailey Price Media today at noon Pacific. I don't know what that correlates on these other times, but come check me and the boy Bailey out chopping it up today. All right.
Peace.